And hello everybody, it is the SpiffyNeedleGeeks. It is myself, Ryan, and Danny, myself being BJ. And today we are just here to draw. Or I'm here to draw.
He's here to draw, and all three of us are here to chill.
Yes, we are. So, hop on in, hang out if you like. Help me, because I'm having artist block right now, god damn it. So,
well, I know you were going to be, we're drawing thumbnails, like, for previous,
yes. That is that is currently what I am doing. The current one that I'm working on was from Ryan's Let's Play of Donkey Kong Country. And I currently got Diddy and DK in a minecart drawn here. Don't know how to continue it. Or more specifically, since our thumbnail with theme of having of including us in some way, whether we're just background characters or whatever, like I don't know how to continue this actually. So help.
Let's see. I'm trying to think. Let's see. Maybe like the four of us are like in another minecart, like behind them, but we're all like just freaking out or something.
That's one idea I had. But also, it would be. I think it would only be the three of us. Was Russell in that Let's Play?
Wait. Oh, you know what? Oh no, that's a good point.
No, Russell doesn't get to be involved. He's not even. He's not even here now.
God damn it. God damn it. That's just, no. You're right. Unfortunately, Brandon was not part of that Let's Play. But it's like, god damn it, boy.
Also, Hypothesis, welcome.
How you doing?
I'm trying to think, were there any, like, specific highlights or, like, moments that, like, really stood out? Because I'm trying to think back to that Let's Play, because it's been a while.
Okay, well, alright, let me see. Okay, moments in the Let's Play. Well, okay, well, I have a couple moments, but I don't think they really, I don't think they're, like, very, like, well thought out ideas for, like, thumbnails. Like, the first one that comes to mind is, like, I think it was, like, in part 3 of the Let's Play, but it's, like, there's a shot of, Diddy Kong getting shot by one of those baby vultures, like, from with, like, one of their coconuts, and then it just sends him straight down to a bottomless pit. And then, what was it, like, in the finale, it's like, oh god, I just realized, it's like, granted, it didn't happen a whole lot, but I think Diddy got the most abuse compared to Donkey Kong for whatever reason. First the baby vulture, and then in the finale when it's like, there was that little joke I quickly put together out of pure boredom when I was showing off, what was it, that recolored Krusha Kremling, because of how pretty much, like invulnerable the guy is, unless if you throw a barrel at him. But yeah, it's like those are just moments that come to my head. But again, yeah, I don't think, you know, it would be very beneficial for like a thumbnail idea that would involve like the three of us.
Like right now, I'm just like kind of. I'm kind of just mindless. I'm kind of just mindless drawing right now, like the idea of like us all in a minecart, like that would be behind DK and Dick, like in the background somewhere.
Yeah. Your brainstorm.
Like, what about like one of the other? What about what about one of the other like animals or something, like the rhinoceros and like the parrot and everything? Like,
oh yeah.
You know,
I was thinking of like Ryan like holding on to Squawk or something, but I don't know. I really don't. hence it being called artist block.
Yeah. I'm an artist that is being blocked from ideas. What the fuck? Well, let's see. Yeah, there's like Ramby, there's On Guard, Espresso, yeah, there's Locks, wait, actually, hold on. Did you? Hold on. Hold on, let me quickly double check something.
Okay.
Oh yeah, give me a second.
Let's see. Dark Meta Knight, welcome. Malik Perry, welcome. Foolish Tunes, welcome. And Dark Meta Knight. Everyone freaking out.
Yo, how's it going?
Everyone freaking out on Ramby on the side. I don't know where I'd put him because this would have to be in the minecart level.
Put him on the minecart level anyway.
A grind railing rhino.
Unplug my thing. Because I am an idiot. There we go.
Yo-Yo Master, welcome. King Riolu, welcome.
Like,
Also,
hello everybody, welcome to Artist Block.
Also, Malik asks, what Pokemon region that hasn't been made yet would you guys like to see? Like in terms of what regions based off of like countries and stuff. I still want to see the Spaniard country. That'd be pretty cool.
Oh, Spain would be interesting. Like Spain would be interesting. Italy would be interesting. I'm trying to think. We've done Hawaii. We've done
France.
Like Japan has been done to death.
Oh yeah, more or less.
How about the moon? Let's just Pokemon in space. Let's just have the
why
Pokemon
else do you think they named a game called Pokemon Moon?
Like just have them floating out in the vacuum of space. It's just that you're just on a space shuttle, vacuum of space, littered with Pokemon corpses.
Wow, Pokemon took a really dark turn.
The Dark Meta Knights at Australia would be cool.
It's like, oh yeah, that would be cool. Oh god, Super Pokemon Galaxy. Oh my god.
Yeah, it's like Mario's flying around. It's like, what is with all these weird creatures floating out in space?
Oh my god, these things are dead.
Well, I mean, if Mario's there, I mean, it's probably the kind of space where you don't need to breathe. But then again, in Pokemon, we established that you do need to breathe when you're in space.
Yeah.
As Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire has established for us.
True.
Mexico, I guess, that probably would be the same as Spain. Or similar at the very least.
Right.
So what has been going on?
Not much. No, pretty much I've just been, busting my ass on these on this frickin' project.
Right.
Yeah.
That's where it's like. Yeah, because that's like, I don't know if you saw BJ, but like I did like this like Twitter rant where it's just venting my frustrations.
About what?
What you call it? Because for this for this project where we've been reading Vento Arreo and everything, because Araki loves music so goddamn much, he names like these characters stands after like artists, albums, songs, all that other kind of stuff. So for the reading, I've been throwing background music and stuff, like for example, like Mista, his stand, Sex Pistols. I was like, okay, all right, I gotta find a Sex Pistols song. Problem. Okay, that won't work. So it gave me a lot of free reign and everything. But right now, like where I started editing, like the enemy stand that they're going up against is called Man in the Mirror, and it's named after the song by Michael Jackson. And if you've heard it, it's like, how the fuck am I gonna make that work for a stand battle? Just because it's like, you know, this isn't like Smooth Criminal or Beat It or, you know, Another Part of Me or any of his other like upbeat rocking songs. No, Man in the Mirror is one of his slower songs. It's like, how the hell am I gonna make this work for a battle? I'm like racking my brain trying to figure out how to make this work.
Yeah, like before we started live streaming.
Consistency, damn it.
Yeah, it's like I suggested to Danny like before we started live streaming. It's like, hey, listen, why? It's like I'm fairly certain like a few people have done this before. It's like, why not try to look up a club remix for that song? I'm sure some talented musicians out there can like just make a more upbeat version of the song in some way.
As long as you credit them.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, of course.
So, yeah. But that's where it's like, I just need to see, I mean, it's like, as much as, I mean, I would love to try and use the original song, but, I mean, if I can't make it work, then I'll go to some other ulterior means.
Yeah.
Where it's like, you know, Scarlet Torch, like, use an orchestral mix, like, if one exists, it's like, yeah, I'll go music hunting. It's like, all else fails if I can't find anything. It's like, Brandon, you have like 5 minutes to spare.
I was about to say, like, ask Brandon.
Can you whip me up a quick version?
Oh my goodness. It's like, oh, what? No, I want to live stream more Mario Kart. It's like, Danny.
Like, yeah, music.
It's like, stop leaving us for that beautiful thing.
Where is Brandon? Where is Brandon anyway?
Don't know.
Oh jeez. Who knows? Again, he keeps leaving us for somebody else.
Well, it's like, you know, I know he's not streaming right now, or at least it says that he's not. So I at least know there's that.
Right.
Like, I mean, I would figure he's probably going to be streaming tomorrow, because tomorrow is the Splatfest.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, what was it, Dad? Splatfest with, like, Octolings and Inklings?
Yeah, Squids versus Octos.
Oh.
The war to end all wars.
Yeah, that's why, that's like tomorrow when I come home from work, it's like, nope, I'm not doing any computer work, I'm fucking splatting tomorrow.
Well, actually, that's like tomorrow. There's actually going to be a special event for Pokemon Go going on. So I'm going to be taking my sister, one of her friends, out to a park where there's lots of stops and gyms. And the event is for Zapdos. Like literally every raid battle will be for Zapdos. And there's also a chance to get a shiny Zapdos. So of course, my sister, the shiny fanatic that she is, she wants to try to get one.
Yeah, it's just like, didn't they say something about like some raid battles going on that involved like a Alolan Raichu and a Alolan Marowak?
Yeah, that started yesterday. Like Sophia and I did go out. And we got an Alolan Raichu today. I do want the Marowak though, because I fucking love Alolan Marowak.
Yeah, Alolan Marowak is pretty badass.
Fucking flash glitch. Maybe Scarlet asks. Also, welcome, Scarlet. She asks, "Have we seen the new Steven Bomb?" I have.
What? Wait. Oh god damn it! No, I am not.
Yeah, no spoiling, guys. Yeah, that went on like during the week when I was at New York.
I was so caught up in many other things, I lost track because I remembered, like, ever since the last set of Steven Universe episodes, they said, "Oh, to be continued this summer." I lost track of like when during the summer, and sure enough, oh, it already happened. God damn it!
That's
I gotta
fine.
still catch it up to you.
Yeah, Danny does too.
Yeah, that's true.
Let me see. King Ryulu asked, "Did you all hear about JoJo's Bizarre Adventure getting an English dub?" Yes, I did, and I cannot fucking wait. But we gotta get through Dio's world first. We got a month of Dio before we can get to Josuke.
God. Oh, God damn it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that actually starts tomorrow. The first episode of the final battle against Dio starts tomorrow, Ryan.
God damn it. I have not seen, like, okay, you know, alright, fuck. Okay, I'm sure, alright, I don't know, okay, for those of you who didn't see, like, because I know I posted this on my Twitter account, like, earlier this month. I got the first Blu-ray box set for the Stardust Crusaders dub, which covers, like, the entirety of, like, the first arc. No word has gone around about the second arc being released on Blu-ray, but even then, I have yet to see, like, all the majority of the Stardust Crusaders English dub all the way through. So it's like, I don't know if I should hold off on the Dio English dub or whatever until I see all the episodes, or should I just like, okay, fuck it, I'll just go straight to the fight, listen to the beautiful voices that they do for this 4-part fight, and then do some catching up later.
Oh my
Yeah,
fucking
I
God.
say fuck it, because this is our Lord and Savior Dio we're talking about. And yeah, like from what it sounds like, pretty much like when Stardust Crusaders ends, that next Sag going straight into Diamonds. So that's like no break whatsoever. So that's like, hot damn, man. That's like, apparently they've been hard at work over there at Viz Media or whoever it is that's dubbing the JoJo anime. You know, they've been working pretty hard. And
yeah.
from what I'm sorry. From what I've heard, like obviously Matthew Mercer's coming back for Jotaro. We've got Joseph's voice actor. He's coming back. And the only other actor that I've heard of has been named, but as far as I can tell, he's a new guy. I am not, like, he's, like, if he's voiced in anything, I don't think he's really voiced in anime. He might have voiced, like, some bit roles in, like, some, like, cartoons or some shit. But as far as, like, anime leads and stuff, I think from what I've looked into, this is his first big role, and he got Josuke. So I'm like, all right, I actually listened to, like, his demo reel. The guy's got range, so it's like, okay, I got high hopes. But I haven't heard anything, like, but, like, we don't know who's voicing Koichi, we don't know Okuyasu or any of them.
Oh, I getcha. Okay, alright. Personally, it's like, they could direct the voices however they want, okay? As long as they're having fun, as long as they do a great job with it, by all means, they could do whatever they want with the voices, more power to them. But at the very least, it's like, for the love of God, whoever's voicing Okuyasu, I hope and pray he sounds so goddamn close to the Japanese voice actor for that character. Because I think
that's gonna be a very tough, you know, voice to match, just because his voice is so deep and gruff in the Japanese version. It's like, oh man, that's gonna be challenging.
I just love it so much. Like, oi, Josuke.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Anyway, let's see.
What?
Foolish Tunes asks, would you rather watch the Teen Titans Go movie or what the new Titans live-action Edge Fest film looks like?
I'm not watching either.
Well, I mean, I can't really say anything about the new Titans Edge Fest film because I've only seen like the title, like image, like spread around Twitter. I'm fairly certain they've uploaded a trailer for that movie, right?
Yeah, and I've seen it, and it's honestly, for me, it's very eh. Like, you know, it's like, yeah, I mean, it's like, you know, I know the one thing everyone was like going crazy over was because you see Robin, he's fighting like a bunch of like regular like criminals or something. They go, "Where's Batman?" He goes and literally like he's kicking the shit out of them, stepping, breaking on their necks, and he goes, "Fuck Batman." So everybody's like, "Oh my God, Robin said fuck Batman," and I'm like, and I'm just sitting here, I'm like, I don't fucking care, but you know. But that's like the one. Meanwhile, that's like the only thing that everybody's kind of zeroing in on. Like, I mean, we saw Beast Boy and Starfire, but like as far as I can tell, there was like no speaking roles. But we know they're in it, so it's like, I guess they look okay. It pretty much looks like this is gonna be a Robin and a Raven movie, and even then, it looks like, you know, with Raven, it's like, you know, she's going to Robin and she's saying how, like, you know, like something bad's gonna happen, or she's got all these weird powers and shit, and she's just me, help me and stuff, and it's like, I don't know, I'd have to see, you know, where they're going with it and everything, but I mean, it's like, I don't know, I get it, it's kind of hard to tell on a trailer and everything. It's just, again, all anybody cared a shit about was, fuck Batman. That's all anyone cared about out of that entire goddamn trailer.
Yeah, fuck that guy that took me in when my parents were killed in a circus act.
I mean, to be fair, I'm fairly certain Robin has said that in the comics as well. Because there is a point where they have a falling out.
No. Yeah.
But
Well,
I
have not read the comics, so I wouldn't know.
Well, I'm just saying. That also said, I was about to say something else, but I totally just forgot. Oh well, whatever.
Anyway, Brandon says, "Hello, friends." Brandon in here.
It's
You
like, what?
You,
Okay.
you tell him, Danny.
Say, get your ass in here, boy. Dark Meta Knight says, I have a question.
Bringing you right now, Brandon. You better pick up.
Anyway, Dark Meta Knight asks, do you know about the anime Overlord? And if you do, what do you think of it? I've heard of it, haven't looked into it. Like, I honestly haven't looked into a lot of new anime lately. Like, with the exception of JoJo. That's really, like, the only one I've been keeping up with.
I actually have looked into Overlord, and I have caught up with the entire English dub of the first 2 seasons. It's like, honestly, it is really very well done and very well good.
Okay. Like, what's it about?
Well, okay, it starts out a little bit weird. So I guess this guy was like playing on this like an RPG, like a server or something that they've been playing on for like years, and after years of playing on the server, it's finally about to shut down. And then once the server actually does shut down, it's like he basically like, oh yeah, it's so bizarre in a way. It's like the character that he played, like the characters, the environment, all the other NPCs. It's like, oh my god, they're becoming real, and he's becoming like his own like a skeleton spellcaster avatar. And so basically, it's like if, okay, this normal human being is, you know, like just immediately got sucked into this fantasy world.
Why does this concept sound? Yeah, why does this concept sound oddly familiar?
It's like, I'm like, okay, so it's a twist on Sword Art Online. Is that what this is?
Not entirely, because it's like you would think that it would be like that. He would be like, okay, I gotta get out of here. I mean, the servers are shutting down. How am I supposed to get out of here? Oh my god. No, he just takes it in. He just like, oh, so this is my life now. Okay, that's cool. I mean, in the other world I lived in, you know, I had no friends, no family. Life sucks, so it's like, all right, hey, if I'm gonna live life, I might as well live it here.
Sounds like Captain and the Game Master.
I'd rather go on adventures with the Nintendo people.
I want to go on adventures around this entire in this entire world with all these servants that do my bidding. These guardians of my kingdom, or whatever.
Yeah, that's like that's like I've never.
Oh, by the way, hi Brandon.
That's like I never watched Sword Art
Hey.
Online. I've heard very mixed things about it, so that's like if Overlord is supposed to be like a variation of it or something, then it's like, I don't know.
How be you, Russell?
I'm fine. Hi. Brandon! Didn't want to get in the way of your conversation.
No, you're good.
By all means, interrupt the fuck out of us.
Also, Kaido asks. Sorry.
I was gonna say Malik Perry actually asked previously, do you expect a Nintendo to since there was not much Nintendo shown in E3?
Probably not.
Like
Not for a little bit.
For a while.
Well, it's like I'm trying to think. How often does Nintendo usually do their directs? Like once every 2-3 months?
It's kind of random, actually. Like I don't think they really have a specific schedule for it. They kind of just do it whenever they feel like it.
Yeah, it's really hard to say because it's like you could imagine like at one point throughout the year it's like okay they did this massive Nintendo Direct during E3, but then a few months later in November they have this other Nintendo Direct, and then several months later after that there's another one. A few months later another one. It's like it's rather sporadic in a way.
Okay. Kaito asks, well, BJ, you can answer this one. Is Pokemon in spec or a fan game? Also, are you gonna do Uranium?
I was asked before.
Yeah, it was at I forget if this was the same person that asked this on the channel. Like, and I believe I already answered it earlier, but Pokemon Insurgents, I believe, because I don't think I think generally a ROM hack is by default a fan game generally, but I think in Insurgents' case, well, I guess the best way to put this, I'm fairly certain that every ROM hack is a fan game, but not every fan game is a ROM hack. Probably the best way to say that. And I think that is the case for Insurgents. Insurgents, I believe, was created from the ground up. Well, from Pokemon or from RPG Maker, and then with assets borrowed from various Pokemon games. So I don't think it's I don't think it's a previous Pokemon game changed. I do believe that it is a it is a Pokemon game kind of made from the ground up by the creators. As for Uranium, the only way that I'll be able to do that game is if I get if I ever find myself getting a Windows PC, because that game is unplayable on Macs.
Oh damn.
Like literally, because generally most fan games are only because like RPG Maker is a Windows program, so but there are ways to be able to play RPG Maker games on Mac. Like I found ways to do it. It's just in the case of Uranium, like that game is so fucking laggy when you try playing it on Mac. It's actually just unplayable to the point where it's like, yeah, like I'm not going to be able to play this. Like it's literally just unbearable to try to play.
Let me see. King Railu. Oh, I guess Ryan Brandon. I know you guys can probably answer this. BJ won't have a clue. So King Railu asks, if y'all could have any stand-in JoJo, which one would it be?
Oh god.
I would take Mad Mountain stand.
What?
Yeah, I'm kind of... Okay, Ryan must get that, because I'm kind of lost.
I don't really get it. I'm just like, why?
It's Mad Mountain's a yokai, and he had the ability the stand, which leaves him with 1 HP.
Wait.
Never mind.
Oh wait, I remember that because I made the JoJo reference when we first introduced us to that yokai.
Yep.
Okay. Oh god. Honestly, I'm torn between two. Like I mean, like, you boys know me when we play, like, the RPGs. I love my healers, so Crazy Diamond would definitely be, like, top tier for me.
Yeah, I was thinking Crazy Diamond too, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, that's like, my god, like, I've never seen anybody come up with, like, a healing power and actually, like, be so goddamn creative with it, other than just, okay, heal your wounds. It's like, some of the crazy shit that Josuke was doing with Crazy Diamond, I was like, oh my god, someone actually made a healer badass. I fucking love it. And then, as for the other character, personal bias, but, Sticky Fingers.
Alright. Oh, but yeah, it's like, oh my god. Yeah,
I guess I could take Killer Queen.
Oh, Killer Queen would be pretty badass.
Yes. Oh man, it's like, oh god, I am torn between using remote control stand or one that's like made for close quarters combat. So it's like on what? What are you talking about? Of course it matters. I gotta make a decision on what kind of stand which stand I would want. But that's the problem. They're all so good. Okay, well most of them are good.
Yeah, there's a couple of enemy stands that are just garbage.
Yeah, that is so true. I mean, it's like, honestly, I guess if I had to choose, I think I'd probably have to go with like a stand like The World, if only because it's like this is just me personally. Having the ability to stop time is like one of the most broken powers I've ever heard of. Cause like if you have the ability to stop time at any point, then the match is pretty much set. Especially if you're already a very powerful motherfucker, all just like alone.
Tell that the death battle.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, in this case, even then, with Jotaro's case, you know, his ability to stop time is nowhere near as strong as Dio's, and even then, it's like Kenshiro already had like Jotaro beat in so many other categories. So even with Jotaro stopping time, yeah, it's like that's not really saying much.
Speaking of which, are you guys gonna watch next week's death battle?
What's next week's death battle?
Samurai
Samurai Jack.
Yeah, Samurai Jack versus Afro Ninja.
Right.
Or Afro Samurai.
She said Afro Ninja. Okay, I'm upset.
Yeah, it's like, oh damn. I like Afro Ninja. So anyway, Brian, did you answer your question, like which stand?
Yeah, I'd probably go with a stand like The World, if I had to choose.
Okay. Alrighty. Dark Meta Knight asks, who is the one character in Smash that you're the worst with?
Olimar.
Any heavyweight character for me. Like, it doesn't matter if Smash, just any fighting game, any slow, heavy character, I can't play them. I utterly suck.
God, it's hard for me to say which Smash Brothers character I'm the worst at, because I feel like I'm not that great with a lot of them.
Yeah, I suck at Smash. I'm bad with all of them. I actually don't know, honestly.
Yeah, it's like, oh come on, BJ, that's not true. You're good at Smash. You're one of those many players that knows the tech behind the game. Like,
okay, no. Ryan. There's a severe difference between knowing the tech and actually being able to execute said tech. Just ask Brian. I don't know how to, I made me aware of it. That doesn't mean I actually know how to properly do it in the midst of fighting.
I happen to know that BJ is outright terrible with DDD. I'm speaking from experience, people.
Wow.
He's not saying anything. Did I actually hurt his feelings?
It's like, oh my god, I didn't mean it, man. That was a joke, man.
I'm just laughing on the inside because you don't get to be in this thumbnail that I'm drawing, Russell. Haha.
That has nothing to do with you being terrible with DDD, but okay.
I mean, I guess I deserve it.
Well, you weren't in that Let's Play.
I know.
Goddamn, like, remember that one time that we were playing the Kid Icarus stage, and I spiked him as he was holding on the ledge?
Are you doing the thumbnail for? Wait, no, you're not. Let's Play's done.
Yeah, he's doing the thumbnail for the Donkey Kong Let's Play.
The one you did?
Yeah, Donkey Kong Country.
Yeah.
I was there for a few episodes.
I don't remember that.
No, you want to know how I know? Because one of the episodes we talked about how on Twitter, the Sonic Twitter, like Roger Craig Smith and everyone answered my question.
All right.
I was in fact in that Let's Play.
You still don't get to be in the thumbnail. Okay. All because you made that DDD remark.
Yeah, you know what? Fine, I deserve it.
But yeah, it's like but yeah, BJ is like, he is determined to do custom thumbnails for everything that we've done so far. So it's like,
I know.
Yeah, so he's doing like there's new thumbnails he's gonna make, and then he's doing all the stuff for the older ones. By the way, I'm trying to think. BJ, did you ever get around to making a thumbnail for my next Let's Play, or no?
I haven't started that yet.
Actually,
I could do that after this thumbnail if you're like if you want us to reveal what next said Let's Play is tonight. If you don't,
I don't give a shit.
All right, then.
I want to check something real quick.
All right, so then hold off. Then we'll let people guess what it may be.
I don't know how many people were actually up with the Threads of Fate Let's Play. Like, it wasn't getting a lot of views, so I don't really know how many people were actually keeping up with that Let's Play.
Oh shit! I didn't call this one, did I?
What?
Yeah, I don't see it on here. One of you might have taken it.
What's the matter?
No. I was looking for a game I was considering Let's Playing, but actually, you know what? Ryan might have called this one.
Well, what was it?
Do I want to say it on stream? This is the thing.
No, you know what? Just type it to me in Discord.
Yeah. Okay. Hold on a minute.
Yeah.
I'm in the middle of a Splatoon 2 match.
Oh, okay. No. Take your time.
Oh yeah. By the way, Brandon, are you streaming Splatfest tomorrow?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah.
And if we weren't on opposing teams, I would actually consider streaming it on this channel.
It's like, motherfucker. It's like,
you can still.
How dare you deny our Octarian overlords?
I'm not denying anyone.
You keep denying us for that beautiful Twitch.
Okay, Twitch has nothing to do with this.
At the very least, Russell, you should invite you should invite Danny to be on your stream.
I would, but again, you know how Splatfest work, right?
Well, with the way the Splatfest is built and everything, and because Brandon and I are on opposing teams, we can't play and be on the same team.
Well, that doesn't matter. You can still chat and talk shit.
Yeah, because people are actually gonna want to hear us talk shit to one another. He's my friend.
I mean, is that not what we do most of the time anyway?
That's what you do most of the time.
You're not wrong.
It's like in all of our Let's Plays so far, I don't recall one moment where Danny's ever talked shit to me. She's my friend.
The fucking noise is like.
Okay. Anyway, what's called Kaito, who I believe actually earlier said this is Vmon. He just changed his name, so I apologize if I keep just referring to Kaito, because that's just what I'm seeing on the screen.
Right.
But he said, Danny and BJ, have you ever heard of Pokemon fan games such as Nobelium and Phoenix Rising? Phoenix Rising gives you the choice to be good or evil.
Phoenix Rising, I started. However, haven't really gotten... Actually, no. Wait, no, I haven't started it because I can't figure out how to be able to play it on my Mac. It's giving me issues. I want to try it, though, but I haven't been able to get it working yet. As for the other one, never heard of it.
Yeah, I haven't heard of either, but, you know, again, it's like, I don't keep up with a lot of fan games. Like, I know, like, when I used to do Twitch streaming, I would always do, like, I called it, like, Fan Game Fridays or something, so where, like, every Friday I would play a different fan game from somebody requesting things. But other than that, it's like, I had never really kept up with fan games or anything, so, and there's so many of them out there, so that's where I'm like, I don't know.
Actually, I'm not seeing the game on Ryan's list. I might be able to call this one.
Just do Control F, and, you know, you'll find it that way.
Well, I know. I mean, I'm just saying I didn't see it, like, at all while I was scrolling through Ryan's side of the wish list.
Okay. Anyway,
okay.
King Ryalu asks, who are we all gonna main in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate?
Daisy.
Wait.
My mains aren't gonna change much, but I will say I'm probably gonna throw Pichu in there.
Why is that suddenly a thing? Like, literally no one liked Pichu in Melee, but now suddenly everyone wants to play Pichu?
Because it's
Hey, I loved Pichu in Melee.
I did too.
It's memes. That's really all it. Probably fucking memes.
Fucking trash.
No, I'm actually gonna make Pichu viable. It's not for the memes or anything. I actually want to make Pichu viable.
I'm sure every character at this time around will be viable, so.
But no, my mains from Smash 4 or Smash Wii U probably aren't gonna change much. Like, I'm still gonna main Shulk. I'm still gonna main Villager and Mega Man.
Yeah, that's like, for me, it's like my typical main, like Zero Suit Samus, Toon Link, and assuming that from what everyone is saying is true, Princess Zelda. I definitely want to keep trying to be good with her, but, you know, I had been playing less and less of her because each time she's gotten worse and worse. But if from what everyone is saying is that she's gotten, like, considerably buffed this time around, it's like, fucking hell yeah, finally. I am curious to see how the Inkling plays out. So I do want to see, you know.
Oh right, how can I forget about Inkling? Sorry.
Yeah, I want to see how does the Inkling play out.
Okay, yeah, how can I forget about the Inkling? Yeah, I'm probably gonna main Inkling too. If I had to pick one of the returning characters that I want to pick up, probably Wolf.
Okay.
But yeah, I've got my fair share of characters that I want to learn for this entry. I ranked up. God bless.
What?
This game. Sorry.
What?
What'd you rank up in?
Tower control.
Okay. It's like, yeah, like, I've started doing some ranked matches. I think I'm like B, right now I'm B- on everything except for Clan Blitz. Fuck Clan Blitz.
Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of Clan Blitz, honestly. I think that's my worst mode, to be perfectly honest.
I utterly suck at Clan Blitz, so I'm like, well, I don't give a shit if I ever rank up in that one or not, but I like Tower Control. I like the one where you have to, you know, capture the spaces.
Splat Zones.
Splat Zones. I really like Splat Zones.
Yeah, Splat Zones is probably my favorite out of all of them.
Yeah, it's like Splat Zones, Tower Control, and it's like every now and again I may do, what is it, the Rainmaker one.
Yeah, Rainmaker's alright. But yeah, I just hit us +6 in Tower Control, so.
Yeah, I mostly do Splat Zones and Tower Control. Kaito asks, Brandon and BJ, what if Nintendo gave us the option to be evil in Pokemon?
Be evil?
Yeah, if you had the option of being, like, I guess, like, an evil trainer versus a good one.
Depends on the context of what you do.
Yeah.
Because I am a sucker when it comes to morality games. Like, if I find myself really liking the cast around me, and like I will actively feel bad, even though they're not real. I will actively still feel bad if I'm an asshole to them. But if I hate the characters, then fuck it. I'll kick their asses.
Yeah, I mean, I'm like one thing I will say that I'm really happy about with the recent Pokemon entries is that like they're expanding upon the idea of character creation in Pokemon, and I think that's really cool. Like, I feel like X and Y did it best though, because it like the choice of styles and such of your trainer wasn't just centered around a specific lifestyle. Like, I guess like you weren't like in X and Y, you weren't bogged down or just looking like you just came straight out of Hawaii, like in Sun and Moon. Like you had the option for like all different types of styles and such in X and Y.
I completely agree. I mean, it's like, you know, that is like one of the criticisms I have with Sun and Moon was like, you know, I love that character customization idea so much, and it's like, oh, they're bringing it back. Yes, I freaking love it. So I'm thinking, okay, they're bringing back everything that we've had so far, but now they're gonna add a lot of island stuff to it, and nope, that's not what happened at all. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, it's like, and this is probably gonna be an unpopular opinion, so I apologize if I trigger some people in the chat, but I'm not gonna front. Like, and this is specifically Ultra Sun and Moon. I think the story is just getting weaker and weaker for Pokemon. Like since I think Ultra Sun and Moon was like the entry that just like said, yeah, the stories are just kind of getting weaker and weaker at this point. I feel like X and Y so far had like one of the best stories in a Pokemon game.
So what was the difference in the stories between like Sun and Moon and then Ultra Sun and Moon?
Okay, so Ultra Sun and Moon kind of fills in some gaps that was in Sun and Moon, but I don't feel as if they were like all they really did was just add a little extra elements to the stories of Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon.
They did they attempted to do what they did in Pokemon Emerald and Pokemon Crystal, but it wasn't nearly as strong.
Yeah.
Like
that's probably the best way to put it.
A couple of the changes were okay, but some of them were a little bit questionable. Like for example, they completely rewrote Lucamine's goals.
Yeah, they did, and it's
really,
yeah.
What did they do?
Is it safe to talk about the story for Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon at this point?
Yeah, I don't care.
I mean, I know you don't care, but like.
Yeah, like audience, do you care if Brandon spoils Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon? Like, yeah, I don't know, like.
Oh yeah, I you know what? I keep forgetting we're fucking live. Yeah, like if even one person says yes, then yeah, let's not talk about it.
Then we won't talk about it, but. That's up to the chat.
Yeah, sorry.
I don't mind talking about.
I'm kind of in a drawing groove right now, so.
Well, that's fine. That's fine. I'm just saying. I wonder if Nintendo is willing to do custom DLC for characters in Smash and not V Fighters. I don't see why they wouldn't, considering they've already added additional costume options for characters like Mario already, and the Inklings, I guess, to be perfectly honest.
Pico Libre.
Yeah, well, I think he's saying, like, you know, for DLC and everything, it's like, you know, yeah, bring in, like, I don't know what other costumes, but I'm sure they can think of something.
Oh dear.
Did we miss any questions or no?
Oh my god, we took the lead. And there's 30 seconds on the clock.
To be honest, if the game passes the 5-month gap, then I'm fine with spoilers. I know there's still some people that I know will probably.
Yeah. It's like I try to like, and Twitch has kind of put me in this habit of doing so. But I've been lately I've been very respectful, or trying to be very respectful about spoilers. So it's like, I mean, it could be a long time since a certain game has been released, and a lot of people should have been playing it by now. But if at least one person doesn't know what's going on in a game that we play on the channel, and they say they don't want to be spoiled, then I'll refrain from talking about it, just out of respect.
I understand that, but I feel like that also kind of does depend on the game. Like, what's probably the best way to put this? Like, for one thing, I guess for one thing, there is I guess, is it really that much of a crime to spoil a bad game? Like, if we spoiled the plot of Sonic 06, for example.
I was just thinking the same like.
Okay, so by
Like,
that
if we just spread it out, Sonic dies in that game.
Bruce Willis gets possessed by Satan.
Okay, by that sense, if you either A, haven't been keeping up with SGDQ events where people speedrun the hell out of Sonic 06, or have seen some Call Me Johnny's review of Sonic 06, then what's wrong with you? Anyway.
It's like, God damn, thinking about it now, it's like...
I guess Foolish Tunes probably did put it best. Like, really, like, they're really, like, they're, I guess it is kind of a time frame thing where it's like 5 months, maybe a little bit too soon. But I'm thinking, like, if a game's been out for years, like, years and years and years,
Yeah.
like, I feel like to the point where it's really no longer relevant.
I guess it's also dependent on whether or not you actually care about the game.
And I guess it also depends on the actual game itself. Like, for example, Xenoblade Chronicles has been out for a long time, but that's a game I still don't think should be spoiled because a lot happens in that game.
Yeah, I agree. It's like that's a game where you have to experience that for yourself.
Yeah.
One way or another, whether it be
same for Undertale too. I find.
If the community doesn't spoil it for you. No offense.
You're not wrong about that, actually, but even then, it's like yeah, it's interesting. Like, I guess the best way to put it, if the game is very story centric, and if the story is a really good story, then that's not really an experience you want to take away from somebody. Yeah. However, if we're talking about games like Pokemon, for example, where it's really not story centric, and it's really not that big a deal, then it probably... Then after a certain amount of time, then it probably doesn't matter.
Let's see here. Kaito asks, BJ, Danny, and Brandon, say your unpopular opinions of something you are slightly afraid to admit.
Wait, what?
Say your unpopular opinions of something you are slightly afraid to admit.
Unpopular.
I've got so many. I just gotta think of one.
Flareon is the best evolution. Wait. That doesn't count. I'm not ashamed to say that.
Okay, I'm not ashamed to say that either. Flareon's a beast.
Huh.
But no, that's I had so I gotta think about this one actually.
Yeah, like there really isn't a whole lot that I like that I'm ashamed about. I don't think there is actually. Like my whole deal is that I don't believe in the idea of guilty well, I guess it depends. Well, no, not even. Like what am I saying? I believe in the idea of guilty pleasures, but it's like I feel like there's no reason to be ashamed of it. That's why there's the point of opinions. Like, I feel like the only thing you should be ashamed to like is if it was something actually, like, really bad. And I'm not talking about Sonic 06 bad. I'm talking about, like, actually, like, terrible.
Yeah, like, I definitely gotta think about this one. Like, I had a few that I know I admitted before on streams, but, oh, God.
And
I can't
like did I convey that across properly? Because I'm not talking about, like, I'm talking about, like, actually, like.
No, I get it.
Okay.
Let me think.
I know, that's why I'm trying to think too.
It's like I feel like if there's something
unpopular opinions that.
Like, I feel like if you're too ashamed to really want to say it, then then there's actually probably a real reason for that. Like, it's actually just a really terrible thing.
Hmm.
Like,
I was like, well, even then, I'm not even sure. I mean, like, in a way, yes. But I think we've also kind of hit that point now that it's like, especially with, like, fandoms and social media and everything, that it's like, you know, even if you say an opinion that's not at all bad, but it's against, like, you know, what, like, the whole of the fandom or whatever says,
oh, wait,
then
no.
they will jump down your throat.
Wait, no, I got one.
What?
Bayonetta is actually a good character in Smash. People are just too butthurt to actually learn how to fight the character or use it.
now, you see, I agree with you on that.
That's an unpopular opinion that people could be scared to admit because just because of how people are towards that particular character. I have no shame in admitting this because people need to learn to stop acting like such crybabies. It's like Bayonetta is a really good character for Smash. People need to stop being butthurt and actually learn the character proper. So I don't know if you guys have heard stories about like big tournaments like nationwide where people will like specifically Smash tourneys where people will use Bayonetta and the player who actually used that character gets booed for it and actually like get jeered on for actually using characters like Bayonetta. And I'm just thinking like, are you serious? Just because someone's using a character that's clearly meant for the game? It's like I feel like the Smash community has left such a big stain on Bayonetta players that it's almost they treat it like it's a sin to even use her in tournaments or in general. And that's fucking stupid.
I don't think that's just, I think that's not really a Smash problem. That's a human problem. Like I forget who it was that said this, but it was like it's okay to like something, but I think it's safe to assume that if like I think it was actually my ex that brought this up, you know, where it's like, it's great to like something, but it's best to avoid the fandoms, because the fandoms will always find a way to ruin it for you.
Yeah, unfortunately.
It's like, that's why I'm not really that involved in, like, forums or anything like that. It's like...
Neither am I.
Or even like attending like get-togethers for this kind of like for specific things. 'Cause I feel like something's gonna happen that'll just put a sour taste in my mouth.
Okay, Dark Mennonite, I'm gonna go ahead and say this. I'm not bashing your opinion because I don't think that Sticker Star is that bad of a game either. Here's the thing, and I said this as a way to kind of work around everyone's opinions on what they think about Sticker Star. Paper Mario Sticker Star isn't a bad game. It is, however, a bad Paper Mario game. If that makes any sense.
See, that goes into opinions once again, because I do not like Paper Mario Sticker Star, and I don't think. Well, and me personally, I do think it's not really that good a game. I found it like I just found it so boring. Honestly, like.
Well, no, I agree. Like, I mean, I thought that compared to the other Paper Mario games, anyway, here's the thing, and I treat all games that I play this way. If I give a game a chance, but I outright just can't finish it before I take it back to GameStop or whatever, I consider it just a boring game. It's like, you know what, like, to me, I know a game is boring when I can't even finish it proper.
Well, I guess that goes that goes into this debate then. Are boring games considered to be bad games?
Well, I guess that is something to think about, because, I mean, I guess that just depends on the person and what you can find out of it.
But that also, I mean, that's just anyone's that goes back into opinions. Like, what one person can see as a bad game, someone else can see as a good game. Just like how what one person can see as a boring game, someone else can actually get enjoyment out of it or not be bored by it. It really just boils down to opinion. But I guess what I'm asking specifically is, if one specific person finds a game boring, doesn't that mean they consider it a bad game?
Personally, I think a bad game is better than a boring game.
Again, I think it really. I know it sounds like we're on a broken thing, but I think it does depend on the game. That's like, you know, it's like BJ. We've been doing, what is it, the Digimon like World Dusk and everything, and it's like, you know, I know we've said this before, where it's like, you know. Yeah, the actual gameplay itself hasn't changed much, like from the previous title and everything. So I mean, if you liked the gameplay in, you know, the original one, then you'll like it in Dusk. However, it is an RPG, and one of the big defining factors about an RPG, primarily, is the story and the world. And the story and the world in Digimon Dusk is fucking garbage.
Yes.
So that's where I'm like, you know, when you have a game that I would say like a big like core part of it is bad, then I would say yes, that would make it bad. I mean, that would be like, why would you play a first-person shooter with shitty controls? Why would you play a fighting game with shitty combos? It's like, why would you play an RPG with a shitty story?
Oh, it's like this is kind of this is just reminding me of how I'm not the and okay, I'm prepared to catch some heat for this one.
Okay.
I like Kingdom Hearts 1. I don't think it's a bad game, but the controls for that game specifically just kind of ruin it for me. Like if anyone knows what I'm getting at.
No, I know exactly what you're getting at. But the problem with that game is that was an intentional design flaw, because you can like the controls can get better. You just have to unlock it as an ability for Sora, and that's a problem.
Like I don't know. In Kingdom Hearts 1, Tora. Sora.
This is not Xenoblade.
Sora. No, because I had the word tank in my head, and like Sora controls so much like a tank in that game compared to how he does in like Kingdom Hearts 2 or any other Kingdom Hearts entries. And again, Sora feels so stiff in Kingdom Hearts, and that's kind of what ruins it for me compared to the other Kingdom Hearts entries.
Right.
It's one of the reasons. It's one of the reasons it's one of, if not the biggest reason, why I don't like going back to playing Kingdom Hearts 1. Like, I don't like how Sora controls in that game.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's like not to say that God, I'm losing a lot. Not to say that Kingdom Hearts 1 is a bad game, and because we all gotta remember, like just like how Sonic Unleashed was the pioneer of how Sonic games work and control today. And even then, I think Sonic Unleashed is one of the greatest Sonic games out there. But that, again, that's just my opinion.
Sonic Forces.
I said Unleashed, right?
Yeah, you said Unleashed, and that was the basis that Forces did, and Forces still ended up being mediocre.
Well, no, but see, here's the thing. We'll talk about that when we get to it. But Unleashed was the pioneer and the bridge to Sonic Colors, and it was the bridge to Generations, both of which were really good Sonic games after Unleashed.
Yeah, like the new boost formula and like the 2D platformer that came along with it, like
right.
The direction they took with Sonic 3D platforming in general, like that's what you're talking about.
Yeah, I even talked about this. Okay, and I guess I can bring up one thing about Sonic Forces, and I even talked about this on Twitter too when I made that little mini review after playing through the game for the first time. I don't think Sonic Forces is a bad game. A lot of concepts and stuff that they used for Sonic Forces, I thought worked out very well, and I hope they continue to do that for future Sonic games. My problem with Sonic Forces was how they executed a lot of stuff in the game.
Yeah.
One of the things being the story.
Well, yeah, that's the weird thing with Sonic Forces. It's like, okay, I don't want to say too much, because of course we're going to be getting around to doing that game sometime in the near future, but it's like, it's one of those games where it's stuck in Sonic limbo. It's like, it's not terrible, but it's not great either.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of things that they could have improved. Actually, you know what? Let me see if I can find those tweets, because I think I made this little review without spoiling too much about the game. So I need to see if I can find it. I'm gonna go to my Twitter profile real quick. Follow me on Twitter, by the way.
Kaito says you guys should do before and after the sequel on SNG Plays. Maybe Sonic Time Twisted 2. Oh wait, but hold up. I'm trying to recall. Aren't those like other Sonic fan games? I felt like I feel like I've heard those names before. I feel like something our good buddy Devin, a Photon Priest, mentioned to us like years ago.
Hold on, where is it? Here it is. Here's that list. Let's see. What's a good thing from this thread that I can talk about first? Oh, okay. Well, good. Funny, I bring this up next because I just talked about this with Kingdom Hearts 1. I mean, yeah, one thing about the controls in Sonic Forces, it did feel a bit stiff, but it wasn't the biggest issue in the world. It's like if they had used the controls and the momentums or the momentum system that they did from Generations, then it probably would have been a little bit better in terms of controls. Okay, and the biggest thing I liked about Forces was the concept of the custom hero, and that's not because of what's the one I'm looking for this one?
Essential?
No. It's my biggest reason for loving the concept of the custom hero is not because of what we were all a part of so many years ago.
Oh.
But no, I love like the story element that they gave for the custom character that you could implement for the game, and the thing I wish they had touched up about the custom hero was just the options that you could use to customize your character. Like if there were more options than what was given to us, then it probably would have been a lot better.
I do kind of wish that they were a little more graceful about the custom hero, though.
What you mean?
Because that character is supposed to represent you, and by the end of the game, you're Sonic's best friend.
Oh god, I hope we're not spoiling too much by saying that. But
No, no, it's fine.
yeah, but what was I gonna say next? It's like the direction that Sonic Forces took in a lot of areas was, I thought was good, and I hope they continue to touch up on that in the future for future Sonic games. Speaking of which, is anyone getting Team Sonic Racing in the chat?
Chat.
Or you guys too?
I don't think I will.
I've never played any of the the Sega racing games.
Oh, really? Okay.
I mean, it's like I mean, it's like if I do decide to get Sonic Team Racing, it'll probably one of those games I'll have to wait on, and definitely not purchase it like on launch or anything. Because like, don't get me wrong. At the time, it's like I enjoyed what I experienced with playing like Sonic and Sega All Stars Racing back then. But it's like I don't know if I want to like immediately jump into like the next big Sega game, like involving racing and Sonic characters and all that jazz. Oh, Jesus.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah. Essentially, yeah. That's the game I'm more than likely gonna be just holding off for a while, like probably like way after that game comes out.
You know another thing I loved about Sonic Forces, and this isn't spoiling anything, so don't worry. But another thing I really loved about Sonic Forces, they put everybody in a background where it wasn't just Sonic and the gang living in a world full of humans. Like they actually incorporated other Mobians in the world of Sonic Forces as well. It's like, which is nice. It's nice to see that Sonic and the gang aren't just surrounded by a world with humans and stuff like that. Most of which who you barely interact with anyway. In like the past few Sonic games.
Wait, there were humans in Sonic Forces?
No,
Yeah, there were. Yeah, there were.
What?
Dr. Eggman.
Fuck.
Am I wrong?
You're so bad.
Please die.
Whoa. 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 Oh.
Anyway.
Anywho, yeah, I guess here's a question that Kaito asks. BJ and Brandon, he's saying one last thing on the fan games. Is it bad that I'm completely against fan game remakes? I only want to play an original fan game and not a remake of an official game when creators could.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Like Dark Meta Knight says, like what happened with Metroid Samus Return.
Oh, that. Well, actually, isn't that why they came out with Wait.
Like
yeah,
it was where like somebody went to they were remaking a previous Metroid game and then it got shut down, only to learn way later on that Nintendo
was already doing this. Yeah.
I still don't like that people claim that Nintendo shut it down just so they could do it themselves. But based on the timing, it's clear that they were already doing it by the time that game came out.
I mean, yeah, and it's understandable.
Let's see. Oh, a Dragon Card Gamer. Hello, welcome. Welcome to the Spiffy Hangout. Drawing some thumbnails.
Oh boy, Splatfest in less than 2 hours.
That's it.
Let's see. Oh, hey Ryan, you feeling better? Oh, like as of recent? Wait, hold on. Oh, are you referring to like when I had posted that last update a few months ago? Are you asking me like as of recent? Because I mean, I'm feeling fine now. I just have, I guess my, I guess my throat's been kind of acting up a little bit.
Feeling good.
Oh, also, okay, look at the drawing now. All right, VJ, I'm curious about something.
Mm-hmm.
When you see me in person, does my hair actually look black to you?
Probably.
Oh. Huh. Interesting. Okay. It's something I'm curious about because it's like for a while it's like I always see you draw me with black hair and it's like, huh, interesting. I mean, I know my hair is like dark brown hair, but I didn't think they saw me as like a guy with black hair. It's interesting.
That's like, well, that's like I guess I'm trying to think like going back to the subject at hand because I know like Kaido just brought on I remember Chrono Resurrection got pulled down, and you know recently the Mario 64 HD, you know that kind of stuff. So it's like I'm trying to think. If I recall correctly, let me Google this. But if I recall, Chrono Resurrection wasn't that the one where you know there were a bunch of people that were just gonna like recreate like a couple of like their favorite parts from Chrono Trigger, but they were doing it in like 3D HD graphics and shit. Like it actually looked really impressive, and then Square shit canned the whole thing.
Yeah, because there was a. Actually, I need to think about when the time span between when Chrono Resurrection was a thing up to when a certain other game that I have on my list. I'm not gonna say what it is just yet. That
is what I'm thinking. So, yeah, Chrono Resurrection was like, yeah, they were doing like an HD, but it's like, it looked like it was like straight out of like, you know, freaking like Nintendo 64, PlayStation 1 era and everything, but it was like, it was all built from the ground up and everything, and that's where it's like, for a fan game like that, I personally have no issues with whatsoever. It's just simply because, you know, that was an instance where they weren't just simply editing sprites and doing like some minor programming tweaks. That was a fan game that they were literally building from the ground up. And, you know, yeah, I mean, admittedly, yeah, I mean, I'm a big fan, so, you know, I was definitely looking forward to that. So when it got shit canned, I mean, yeah, I was pretty pissed about it. I was like, are you kidding me? You know, let alone it's from a series that Square clearly has no interest whatsoever in working on ever again, and considering where they are, I hope to God they never do touch the Chrono series. You know, please leave it alone.
Actually, hold on. I need to confirm something because what Danny's saying right now has got me curious. Chrono Resurrection. I need to know when the production value of this started.
It started like back like in, I think in like the early 2000s or like early like 2010s or something.
2004.
Yeah, like they'd been working on it for years, and they weren't even remaking the whole game. They were only doing like 5 scenes. Like they were doing like the festival from the beginning of the game. They were probably gonna do like maybe the trial. You know, they were gonna handle like, you know, they were just gonna tackle like, we're just gonna remake like a couple of, you know, really big moments that we all loved in Chrono Trigger. Like they weren't even gonna remake the whole game.
Okay, so based on what I saw on Google, Chrono Resurrection was like a 2004 project. I'm looking at this other game that I'm, again, not going to say what it is just yet because I'm considering doing this for the channel, that was done, or released in 2016. Like, there's no way they cut Chrono Resurrection out of the picture for a 12-year gap for this game. Like, this must, like, unless they just thought one day, hey, remember Chrono Resurrection? We should make this game to kind of build up from that.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, there's no way. And this must be this is probably just a coincidence then.
Okay, anyway, so Foolish Tunes asks, thoughts or heard of the whole Butch Hartman backlash? Oh! Started on that one.
Wait, hold on.
I never really pay attention to. Right.
Wait, what backlash?
Okay, since you boys clearly don't lurk,
Oh,
so here's what happened. So Butch Hartman, you know who Butch Hartman is. Yeah, guy created Danny
Fairly Odd
Phantom.
Parents. Yeah, Danny Phantom. Yeah.
So recently left Nickelodeon and everything. So he started a Kickstarter that basically he wanted to create a streaming service that was solely dedicated for original animations directed to kids, because and one of the reasons he said he wanted to do that was because unlike streaming services like Hulu and Netflix, where yes, they offer the option for stuff for kids, but they've got the adult stuff on there too, and he wanted to just make something strictly for kids so that no one has to worry about kids wandering around and finding and watching stuff that they clearly should not be watching. Which, okay, fair enough and everything. It's like, I see where you're coming from with that. And, he'd been launching this thing for a good couple of months, and I think relatively close to getting it funded and everything. And then literally a couple of days ago, it pretty much revealed that the kind of programming that he was specifically wanting, it was all Christian based, which it's one of those things, like if you want to make a streaming service but have it being targeting strictly Christian audience, I have no problem with that whatsoever. The problem is that he did not disclose that. So people were funding this thing thinking, oh, we're going to be getting more shows like The Fairly Odd Parents, like Danny Phantom and stuff, but he's going to have creative input. He's going to have he said he was going to grab a bunch of other artists and stuff in the industry, and it was all going to be their own creative freedoms and stuff. So the fact that he did not disclose that pissed a lot of people off. And then for an encore, so a video or something surfaced where I guess he was doing maybe I'm assuming was a discussion or a TED talk or something. He was doing, he was having a talk, and he was making some comments that people were going, what the fuck is wrong with you? Why would you say that? He was saying things whereas kids who were I'm trying to remember what it was that he said. He's when I grew up, when I was growing up, kids never committed suicide and everything. And it was so that's where he's something's wrong with media today that is causing kids to commit suicide. And saying that kind of stuff, saying shit about how kids that are shy or introverted and everything was just
yeah, red flag.
Yeah, a lot of red flag shit, and people were
red flag.
And people were whoa, where the fuck is this coming from?
Yeah,
Ruby
red flag.
Yeah.
And that's pissed a lot of people off too. Then they're it's one of those things where it's again, had this shit have been disclosed and had people had known about this and everything, it's he probably would not have gotten as much of the funding as he already did. So now people are feeling like, you know, he purposefully did not disclose the true nature behind the streaming service that he wants to do, and all this other shit that has just recently come out and everything. He purposefully left all of that in the dark so he can just get as much money as he wants from people, and even if they disagree with them, well, tough shit, I've got your money now.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was really scummy. I think like Pie Guy Rules on YouTube. This is actually how I heard about it, because I watch Pie Guy Rules every now and again. And Pie Guy Rules talked about it because he was keeping up with that whole the Kickstarter and everything, and then it's like when this thing went down, that was how I heard about it, and I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, I didn't hear about this until just now.
Right,
Yeah.
same.
Yeah, like I said, Pie Guy Rules explains it very well, so if you do want more information on it, I would highly suggest go watch his video. He did a pretty good job, and that was how I found out about it.
Interesting.
Huh.
Right, and then, unless Sergio asks, like, I don't know if it's true, but didn't he say something like Tara Strong is the reason why Timmy Turner's pilot voice actress committed suicide? I have no idea. I've never heard that. I hope to God that's not what he said. That's bullshit.
Yeah, I don't even. That is wild.
So yeah, it's like I've heard. Yeah, it's like he's kind of in hot right now. I don't know.
Understandably so.
I don't know if he's apologized. Like, I haven't heard he's done, like, the typical backhanded apology that everybody does when they, get caught saying or doing something. Oh, did you hear about what happened to, what's his face? The guy that directed the, Guardians of the Galaxy?
That I heard about earlier, yeah.
Yeah, this literally just happened, I think, like, a couple of hours ago, where it's like, people dug up like some tweets from like a decade ago where he would where he made like some I guess off-color jokes or comments or something about like rape and everything, and like people dug this up from like 10 years ago, and mind you, since then he had apologized for what he had said, and to my knowledge hasn't really said anything along those lines since. And mind you, this was over 10 years ago. Yeah, Disney basically fired him, so he's no longer going to be directing the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, like that I find a little offhanded.
I think that's bullshit. I mean, it's like
yes, I agree that you should not be making those jokes. Like, those are jokes that comedians need to stop making. But the fact that it did happen so long ago, and yet he did apologize for it, but even back then, so it's clearly not something that he's in his mind doing now. It's like that seemed a little overkill.
Yeah, that's like, it's like, if this was something like he had done recently or something, then be like, okay, now we're talking. Okay, now this clearly is in poor taste because you know the kind of fucking environment that we're in right now. But I mean, that's like, but yeah, it's the fact that, yeah, he said some bad shit 10 years ago, but it's like, you know what? Allow me to play devil's advocate here. It's like, who the fuck did it 10 years ago? I mean, like, the whole, our whole social landscape was not the way it is today 10 years ago. So it's like, yes, shit that we said back then would not fly today. But I think what should be a little bit more important is, one, he apologized, and two, he hasn't repeated that mistake as far as I'm aware of anyway.
Right.
So that's where it's like, clearly his actions have spoken louder than his word. So the fact that, Disney just right off the bat said, nope, you're done, I'm sorry, I think that's bullshit. You are clearly jumping the gun here to try to save face when clearly there's nothing to be saved here. This was a decade ago. it's like, yeah, Dark Matter Night, yeah, context. It's all about context. And this is honestly something that has been pissing me off, especially like the past couple of years with how people are treating things, like especially on social media. It's like, you know, a lot of people, like, I think we've gotten so accustomed to screaming outrage and everything over every bloody little thing that we're starting to ignore context. And that is not a good thing whatsoever.
I agree.
I mean, it's like, you know, yeah, when you fucked up, yes, you have every right to be called out on it and everything. But it's like, if you've been called out on it, if you've apologized, and if enough time has passed and you've shown that you have learned from your mistake, then it's like, I don't see what the problem is. This isn't
Yeah,
like...
I have that exact same mindset.
Yeah, it's not, I'm throwing a backhanded apology and then I'm back to doing that same deplorable behavior. It's like, that's clearly not what happened here. You know, this is not fucking Logan Paul or anything. So, that's where I'm just like... Yeah, so that's where I'm just like, you know, I'm sorry, like, I think a situation like that is fucking bullshit.
Agreed.
Actually, you know what? Speaking of Logan Paul, so like I just actually remembered something. No, it's not as bad as you think. Bit of a teaser for you guys, because there's actually a video that I plan on posting hopefully tomorrow. Well, it's not really a video; it's a commentary that the four of us actually just recorded last night. For a certain movie that I really like, and everyone here for the most part liked, especially Russell. But there's a cameo in set. I feel like the moment I say this cameo, everyone's gonna know exactly what I'm talking about. But there's a cameo in this movie for Gegege no Gitaro, like an old yokai anime. I mentioned recently during the commentary how this show was recently got a revitalization. The first episode of this, like, and this may actually make you guys curious. The very first episode of this anime, I'm fairly certain, and if was probably a jab at Logan Paul.
Really?
Yeah.
Like how so?
You tell.
Like, the beginning of the episode pretty much begins with an asshole with an iPhone and a selfie stick dancing around the middle of a Japanese busy Japanese highway just for views and just for views and shit.
Oh my God.
Like he's recording himself just dancing around like a jackass.
Oh my God.
And then he turns into a tree.
Good. That's all I gotta say. Good.
Shit, what do I name this? Hold on.
Anyway, Balak asks, SNG, what problems do modern Sonic
here we go.
generally have?
Now, when you say modern, you're talking like all of them, or are you talking about specific ones?
Like, just modern Sonic games in general. Like, personally, I think, like, from what, you know, my personal opinion, Sega, for whatever reason, I think, like, in an attempt to try to keep Sonic relevant and updated, it really feels like sometimes they're just trying to chase after what is popular, as opposed to just really fine-tuning what they have right now. Because I mean, that's like, you know, when you look at, yeah, I mean, it's like you look at Sonic Heroes, for example. Okay, you got branching storylines and stuff, so it's like, and it's like you got the branching styles and shit, so it's like, okay, that's something to start with, but then you go to like Shadow the Hedgehog, it's, oh, choose your own adventure. Okay, what the fuck? Then you have like, then you get like Sonic Unleashed, which a lot of people say like the Werehog stages, they compare to like God of War, because God of War was taken off at that point. So that's where it's like, oh, now you're trying to capitalize on that and everything, and it's just like, it just seems like.
I think I know where Dan is getting at for this.
Yeah, it's like each gimmick that they tried to put in the games, it does kind of get the impression like they're just trying to, you know, capitalize on what the kids like, what's really popular right now, when they should really just be focusing on like fine-tuning things, which it looked like they were doing. Like, it looked like from like Sonic Colors up through Generations, it looked like that's what they were doing. They were focusing on just trying to fine-tune everything. And like that, because that was the point in like with modern Sonic games that like damn near everybody could agree they were getting really good. And then it's like, yeah, nope, we're going right back to the same patterns as before. And it's like, oh my god, why? Why?
Yeah, I know. I know exactly what Danny's getting at.
It's like, oh my god, did you not learn anything? It's like that to me, that's what's really frustrating about some of these modern Sonic games. Don't get me wrong, I do like some of the modern Sonic games, but it's like, you know, again, it's like you look at Sonic Colors, then you look at Generations, and it looks like, oh right, we've got a steady incline going up, we're doing really good, and then it's like, you know, we got Sonic Mania coming out, all right, that went over very well, and then Sonic Forces, and then it just fucking nosedives, like, down it goes, it's like, oh my god, no.
Yeah, I know exactly what Danny's getting at, and I was thinking the exact same thing. Like, the thing with modern Sonic games nowadays, they have trouble staying consistent with one another. Like, every modern Sonic game up past Unleashed, which again was the pioneer of all the modern Sonic games today, just don't feel consistent with one another.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't entirely feel like they're branching off of what made these games so good and it's expanding upon it. They're just taking some of the elements what made these games good, but then are just trying completely different things, which is kind of breaking the consistency.
Like, Malik, when you say fine-tuning things, you mean how? Like, you know, it's like, take for example, like, I know, like, the Wisp, for example, like, you know, where you had the Wisp just providing different power-ups and everything, and just offering some different abilities. I thought that was a great concept. Then you get to Sonic Lost World, and it's like, okay, we're gonna bring that back. So I'm thinking, okay, maybe they're gonna try and build off of that a little bit more. You know, let's make you know, the platforming a little bit, maybe a little bit more precise, a little bit more attuned to the Wisp. Because otherwise, why would you bring them back? And, And yeah, it's like the Wisp were damn near fucking pointless. To me, it really felt like a lot of the Wisps you just brought back just for the sake of bringing it back. Because, oh, you loved it so much in Sonic Colors, but it worked in Sonic Colors because the game was built around the Wisps.
Yeah, not to mention the story of the Wisps as well.
Yeah, Sonic Lost World was not built around the Wisps, so why the fuck are they here? So that, you know, it's like that kind. It's like, you know, that's kind of what I'm meaning. It's like, you know, take like what you've got right now, whether it's, you know, if you don't want to use the Wisp per se, then like come up with some other means to do something similar to it, so you don't have to just keep falling back on Wisps. You know, let's build that up a little bit. Come up with some more platforming challenges with stuff like that. Let's, you know, figure out what else can we do with like the boosting system. What can we do with that? You know, really just kind of like build off of like those little things, like the little like gameplay mechanics and stuff. Like that's kind of what I'm thinking of, like when I'm saying like fine tuning things. Like just take what you got and really work on perfecting it, rather than let's just throw all this out for something else because it's popular right now. And it's like it clearly shows that, you know, you don't know what the fuck.
I think the bigger question right now is why did they go on to say that Sonic Lost World was a direct sequel to Sonic Colors just because the Wisps were there? Like they even said that. They said that Sonic Lost World was supposed to be a direct sequel to Sonic Colors. And it sure as hell doesn't feel like it.
Yeah, it doesn't. So, but then again, I personally didn't like Sonic Lost World. I didn't think it was all that great.
Also, then again, since when has Sega ever been consistent with their continuity?
Like I said, like their Sonic games their Sonic games past Sonic Unleashed just haven't been consistent.
It's classic Sonic.
Also, hello, Rebel number 6. How's it going?
Now, if we're gonna talk about Sonic, can we talk about Sonic Mania for a second?
Sure.
No, I was implying the fact that Sonic Mania is like god amazing.
No, I mean, I agree. It is freaking god tier. That's where it's like, Sega, for the love of God, take some goddamn notes here. I mean, you see how much money you're making, how much like fucking praise you're getting on Mania. It's like, please take some notes and like really study how the fuck they're making this work.
Yeah, see, this is what happens when you let Sonic fans, you know, people that know, like, they know their shit when it comes to Sonic. You know, when you let people like them make a Sonic game.
Anyway, King Ryalu asked, have you all ever heard of a game called Asura's Wrath?
Asura's Wrath. I have played it, and I've somewhat beaten it.
No, I beaten it. Like I own Sonic. I was gonna say Sonic. I owned Asura's Wrath for a while, and yeah.
Have you really beaten it, Brandon?
Yeah.
Have you really beaten it? So what you're saying is you spend money to get the true ending to the story?
Yes. The answer is that.
You're part of the problem.
I mean, no. I mean, I sigh not because I'm disappointed in Brandon, but honestly, goddamn, it's like I haven't done it yet, but something tells me I'm more than likely gonna end up doing the same thing.
It's like I'm not.
I've never played Asura's Wrath. I've heard about it, but yeah, I do that. Like, you know, yeah, you have to like pay extra to get the ending. And it's
Okay. Here's the thing. It's one thing to pay money for content that's already on the game itself. Looking at you, Street Fighter Cross Tekken. But it's another thing to pay money for expansions to games that are actually good.
But the ending of, but the true ending of a game?
Yeah.
I don't see it as that big of a deal, if only because.
See, I personally do think that's a big deal. I mean, it's like, whether the game is good or not, I mean, it's like, if there is a true ending, you fucking finish it, and you put the fucking true ending in the game.
Yeah, honestly, it's at the time when I initially bought Asura's Wrath, it's honestly a good thing that I got the game, like, when it was, like, at a very, very deep discount. Like, I got that game for, like, a few bucks on Xbox Live. So it's like, if that moment does finally come, which probably won't be for, like, God knows how long, but if whenever that moment comes and I'm like, well, crap, I gotta pay the extra bucks or whatever to get the true ending, it's like, I won't feel too bad because I got the main game at an insanely cheap discount. Granted, that doesn't really change the fact that, you know, you still gotta pay to see the true ending, but even so, you won't really feel as bad,
Right.
given the situation.
See, like, you know, where I'm coming from, I think it pretty much stems to, again, what the fuck happened with Final Fantasy 15. I mean, that's like, you know, I do know, yes, that whole development cycle was just complete and utter hell, and as much as I do recognize that, it's still bullshit with the amount of, like, narrative content that they cut out, only to, like, patch that in as paid DLC later. That's bullshit. I'm sorry.
See, I feel like I wouldn't be as offensive if it was free DLC.
Yeah, like, you know, if you're gonna do, yeah, but like, as far as from what I've heard, it's paid DLC, or you can get like a season pass or something, and it's like, I'm sorry, but no, that's bullshit.
See,
I mean,
this is
it honestly, it really is.
Yeah, it's like, and I mean, I'm usually the kind of person where I'm actually pretty lenient when it comes to DLC. I know there's people out there that it's like, as soon as you mention just even the word DLC, they want nothing to do with it whatsoever, because they think that whole concept of having to pay for additional anything is garbage. And I can see where they're coming from. Admittedly, I'm a little bit more lenient on it, because it's like, you know, when you have things like, you know, like character costumes or like textures and shit, I don't see an issue with that, because it's like, it's not directly affecting the game. I know Jim Sterling will disagree with me on that, because he's made multiple videos about that, because he's one of those people where he just hates DLC, period. But it's like, you know, But for me, it's like, you know, okay, you want to make like, you know, costume or something. It's like, I don't care. You know, to me, no harm, no foul for something like that. It's like, you know, where I start drawing the line is, again, what we happened with Final Fantasy 15, where it's like they deliberately cut content out, and it wasn't like, oh, we're just cutting out like an optional dungeon or anything like that. No, they were actually cutting out chunks of the story to get the game out, and then they were like, okay, we're gonna patch all this stuff in later, but then you got the audacity to make us pay for it. So it's like, really? That's how you're doing it? It's like you couldn't even offer shit for free. I mean, I think it's bullshit that they, you know, even released it without actually finishing it, but it's like, if you're gonna cut anything out, the least you could have done, like, especially when it's narrative, the least you could have done is offer it for free. But the fact that you didn't, that's bullshit.
Yeah, I strongly agree.
And you have games, and then you have games like Kirby Star Allies that gives you literal hours of new content, all for free.
Yeah.
Same with Splatoon 2.
You're not wrong there, too.
And Splatoon 1, for that matter, I guess.
See, and this is when...
Well, Splatoon 2, with the exception of Octo, you do have to pay for the Octoling expansion.
Okay, well, that yeah. Yeah, that's an entirely new game mode, and it's only $20.
Yeah, and that's, like, very much worth it. Like, new story, new cosmetics and stuff like that. Like, all that... Is cosmetics even the right word to use?
Yeah, I'd say cosmetics.
Yeah. But, yeah, like, all the stuff you get with that DLC is very much worth it.
But no, it's like even especially with Kirby Star Allies still, because like you guys know how much I've been dying for to be able to play as fucking Adeline. She's gonna be free, and on top of that, they're also adding Kirby 64 inspired levels to go along with her. And I'm just sitting here like, this is all for free. Just no, I would have easily paid money for that, but no, like Nintendo is just being, it's just you know being fucking bros here, like.
I guess speaking of Nintendo, I know, sorry, but I was just gonna ask, like, what's the chat's opinion on the Nintendo Online services that are gonna kick in like September?
I'm trying to think, like, that's just it's just the ability to go online, right? Or
well, it's effectively what PlayStation Plus and Xbox Live does, but
except it's
the difference here being, it's $20 for a year.
Yeah.
There's like family and friends plans that you can like do. So it's like, oh, if some people can't like go online or whatever, or don't have the money to pay for the services, you can like build a connection system. Build a connection system with the like you know how cell phone companies will have like family plans where you only have to pay like one fee to cover for like 4 different people.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's effectively what the family plan is for Nintendo Online services. And I think, I'm trying to think, I think it might be maybe $30 or $40 something, but that's still nowhere near expensive for how much you have to pay for like a whole year for either Xbox or PlayStation Plus. And the other thing about it is, like, if you're with the Nintendo Online services paying for the year or whatever, they're going to be including, like, same thing like we're doing with the PlayStation Plus and Xbox. You get free games to go with it, with online functionality. Like, the ability to download Nintendo NES classic games with online functionality with multiplayer and stuff like that. How cool is that?
Yeah, it's like, you know what? I'll bet you anything. Like, whenever this online service comes up on Nintendo's end, everybody like way more people than anticipated are gonna jump all over that online service, and then that's when Sony and Microsoft, they're gonna be like, okay.
Well, no, I'm gonna be all on that.
We got some competition on our hands. It's like, we need to match that, and then they're gonna start lowering the prices.
Not really, Ryan. I think the only way they would have competition is if suddenly all of Nintendo and Xbox's all of PlayStation and Xbox's games ended up on Switch. Then they'd have a problem.
Oh. Yeah, which will never happen.
I don't know. I mean, if we're talking exclusives, then yeah. But like, I don't know. Some of the games that you could get on Xbox and PlayStation are already on the Switch.
I would like Sly 5 on the Nintendo Switch, please.
I would like Overwatch on the Switch. Then I'd actually play it.
I'm just saying. You think a game like Crash Bandicoot would be staying on the PlayStation 4 just because that, like, Crash Bandicoot was one of the pioneers for Sony in the first place, but here it is on the Nintendo Switch.
That's true. At the same time, though, it's like even like with games like before the Insane Trilogy and sometime after like the classic Crash Bandicoot games came out, it did also just fair share of appearing on other platforms too, like the Xbox and Nintendo consoles and such.
Well, yeah, I get that. I mean, I'm just saying, like, the whole Crash, like, when you hear Crash, and we're talking old school Crash, you think of the PlayStation, because that's where it all started.
Right.
I just really hope they put Overwatch on the Switch. Then I'd actually play it.
Oh my god.
Because I have a PlayStation, I have a PS4, it's just I don't want to pay for the online.
You missed out on so many sales.
I know. I don't care though.
Really.
Okay, but and here's the thing though. When the Nintendo online services kick in, you're gonna have to pay for online anyway.
Yeah, but as we've already established, it's way fucking cheaper than PS4.
Well, yeah, but I mean,
I am much more willing to pay $20 a year as opposed to $60 a month.
You made it seem like the premise.
$60 a month? I'm sorry.
No,
it's 60 a year.
Okay, well still.
It's $10 a month.
Right, but regardless.
Wait, wait, $10 a month? That's $120 a year.
No, it's literally like $5 a month.
Well, like to BJ's point, it's like, you know, yeah. Would you rather pay $20 for a whole year, or would you pay $60, which is just the price of a game nowadays?
So, yeah, and there it is. Wait, I own a PlayStation 4 as well, Rebel. And even I can't keep up with the $60 a year most of the time.
Old man DK. There we go.
Anyway, okay, I just remembered because I saw this question up, but we never got answering it. Dark Matter, what are your thoughts on the Toho games?
Toho?
Never played them.
What was Toho?
All I know is that they're bullet hells.
Yeah, that's really all I know.
I don't know anything about them.
I mean, yeah, I know of Toho. I know what kind of games they are. I just never played them.
Yeah,
actually, I think
it looks like it's bullet hell, but with, you know, waifus.
Actually, I think isn't there a Toho game on the Switch right now? I gotta check the eShop.
I have no idea.
Like, but I don't think it's a traditional Toho game is the thing. I think there was one Toho game I saw a sneak peek of, and it looked like it was like a 3D fighter of some kind. But it looked like it controlled super slow.
Alright, okay, here's a good question. So Malik asks, what game or game series that has been abandoned or hasn't appeared on a console for some time that you want to see get revived?
Kirby's Air Ride.
It doesn't count. Kirby's still alive at least.
Not the game.
Yeah, you know what? Just go play Kirby Star Allies and just fly in circles around the world map.
Shut up.
That's Kirby's Air Ride, right?
No, it's not. It's like that hasn't appeared in a console for some time, so it does count.
That's like I know I had mentioned earlier, like, you know, this maybe 10 years ago, my first thought would be, you know, Chrono. But as I said earlier, you know, considering the state that Square is in right now, and you know how they pretty much piss me off nowadays, I don't want them going anywhere near the Chrono series. I mean, it's like, you know, because I remembered, like, you know, they tried bringing back Parasite Eve, another great series that they had, and they came out with Parasite Eve 3, and it pissed so many people off. You know, because of how they handled it. You know, so that's where people were like, "Oh my God, they're actually going back to that was, you know, very good. We haven't seen it since the PlayStation 1. They're bringing it on the, like, I think it was like what, PSP or PSP Pro or something, like one of their handhelds. And the way that, and from what I had heard, I never got around to playing it, but from what I had heard, the way the game was handled pissed so many people off. They were like, it was like, you know what, you shouldn't have just touched it at all.
Like, they've already put the defibrillator on Mega Man, and I'm very happy about that. A revival of Ice Climbers?
Oh, the Ice Climbers games? I mean, yeah, Ice Climbers were a character that only got literally one game.
Yeah, here they are making so many appearances in Smash.
Hmm.
Right. I mean, that's like, I know, like, for others, there's like, I mean, there's other series that I would love to see them, whether they, even if they don't make a sequel, if they just maybe did like an HD remake. But
Is that right?
But it's like, at the same time, it's one of those things where it's like, some of the ones that I want to see, they did, and they, from what I gathered, they didn't sell very well at all, so it's like, well, I guess so much for chances of ever seeing that series coming back.
Yeah, I heard Secret of Mana, or I heard the Secret of Mana remake kind of bombed.
I heard about that. I'm thinking like Lunar Silver Star Story, one of my favorite RPGs ever. So they did like a remake on PSP called Harmony of the Silver Star. And you know, it's a remake of the first game, like updated graphics, new voice actors, updated music, you know, did the whole 9 yards and everything. It was a pretty damn good remake. But from what I've gathered, nobody bought it. So it's like, well, so much for Lunar ever showing up again, let alone its sequel, Eternal Blue, which was just as good. So it's like, well, so much for that showing up again.
Hmm.
Let me see, BJ, Rebel asks, there's an artist on DeviantArt called Blue Paint C. Do you follow him? He's really good.
Blue Paint C, I've never heard of this person. I will take a look at them now.
Yeah, Jason asks, what about the Earthbound series? You know what I would love to see? What with the Earthbound series? And I believe, like, years and years ago, when I had actually, streamed Earthbound, because you remember when I was doing Twitch for a little bit, I actually played Earthbound blind, because that was the first time I'd ever played it, and I did it on Twitch for you guys. And one of the things, like, I thought, personally, I think would make for a really interesting take for, like, like a remake. I don't know how it could be done, but knowing Nintendo, they could find a way to do it, but I know people would say they want they want Mother 3 first and foremost, and I get that. But I always thought, wouldn't this be cool if they decide, okay, we're gonna do like an HD remake of Earthbound, but rather than using like 3D graphics or something, make it look like the claymation, like, you know, like the actual like clay figures that we see like for their concept figures and shit. What if they made that? What if they took that kind of style and remade Earthbound like that? That would be so fucking unique, because you never see that anywhere. And I mean, and it's like, you know, and I look at games, say like Little Nightmares. Little Nightmares, like, if you really look at the art style, it's very reminiscent of like, you know, like Coraline or like Tim Burton, like Nightmare Before Christmas style. And that's an independent developer, and they could make that work. I don't see why Nintendo can't do that with, like, you know, making like a claymation style Earthbound game. I think that would be cool.
That actually would be really neat. Of course, I think right now people are hankering more hankering to get Mother 3 to America first before anything else.
Yeah, first and foremost, and I get that. Like, you know, of course you would have those people that would be like, you know, making about free. You know, they're gonna cry. King Ryalu asked, would you all like to see another JoJo's fighting game? Fuck yes, because there's too many characters that are not in the fighting game that should be.
Let Arc System Works do it.
You know what? I would okay if Arc Systems were to take on the JoJo series, I would definitely be down for that.
Oh, that's like, oh, I could name a ton. I mean, I would just love a new JoJo game, period. But especially for a fighting game, it's like, oh my god, there's like a good chunk of characters that it's like, why the hell are you not in a fighting game? Why are you not in these games already? So it's like, I could go on, but I don't know if BJ wants to hear me ranting more about JoJo, because I know he doesn't keep up with it.
I'm just drawing a DK.
So I guess it's like, if you, so I guess in that case, if you want to rant on more about JoJo, the floor is yours.
Okay then, so look, let's just spin reality and let's say, you know, Japan decided, okay, Danny, we're gonna give creative rights to making another JoJo fighting game. Do what you want with it. Who do you want in it? So, okay, here's what I would want. Like, because I'm trying to think, like, as far as, like, you know, going, like, through each series. It's like, Phantom Blood, you pretty much got everybody you need. Battle Tendency, you pretty much got everybody you needed. Stardust Crusaders, again, I would argue, yeah, you pretty much got who you needed. Pretty much from Part 4 onward, I can name at least 2 characters from each part onwards that should be in the fucking fighting games. That's like Part 4, for example. I want fucking Highway Star.
Highway Star.
Yeah, like I think his name is Yuya Fungami, I think his name was, or something. I just call him Highway Star. But oh my god, Highway Star would be so much fun. Just because, you know, that's a stand that's all about like leeching. So this would be a character like, you know, okay, what if he plays similar to like Speedwagon, where, you know, he can chuck his, like, you know, biker chicks out at you and, you know, they will fucking fight to the death for him. But then it's like you throw out his stand and maybe it's like, you know, because his stand basically sucks out the nutrients, what if he had an ability like very slowly leeching health back? That's an ability that has yet to be seen in the JoJo fighting game. It would have to be really slow and gradual, but it could work, and I think that would be pretty damn cool. That's like, I'm trying to think, I would also want to see the alien guy from Diamond is Unbreakable. Like, I think his name's like Mikitaka or something, and it's like, basically think like Kirby. Like, where he can like transform into items and like, you know, fuck around with the environment. It would be like playing Kirby. And who the fuck doesn't like playing Kirby?
Everyone is Kirby's friend.
Yeah, so it's like, you know, yeah, come on, that would be freaking awesome. Like, Part 5. First of all, can we have a Baccio in this game, please? He's like the one fucking main character that hasn't shown up. It's like, we need the entire goddamn group here, so get a Baccio in there. For enemy stands, I would say get Risotto Nero in Metallica, get Gacho in there with White Album, you know, maybe get like Chocolata and Secco in there for fighters. And I think that's probably all you really could do as fighters goes. Part 6, I want my Foo Fighters, best female character ever in all of JoJo, and she is not in it, so put her in it, goddammit. And then, there's a guy, I believe his name was like, oh god, what the fuck was his name? Donatello Versace, I think his name was, or something? He shows up very, very late. Last guys that you end up fighting in Stone Ocean. Like, make him a fighter, because why not? Steel Ball Run. So, let's see, let's get, first off, let's get Hot Pants, because we need more chicks in this goddamn thing. So yes, yeah, it's like yes, give me more Hot Pants. I would want Weka Pipo, which would basically be, you know, let's play as Gyro, except, you know, fucking brick shit house.
And yes, Rebel, yes, there are quite a few amount of female characters in JoJo, and they're all totally badass.
Yeah, and then like And then as far as part 8 goes, Jobin's given because he's a big character that's shown up now. Hato would be a good one to have because that's just basically Chun-Li with a stand that can turn her high heels into swords. That's just fucking awesome.
Oh, great. Because that's what we need.
Why does this sound so familiar to me?
Yeah. And then I would say, personally, I would just love to play this guy because I do really like him. I think it's, oh god, what the fuck was his name? Mamazuku Rai, which is basically like, you know, take a Jolene's stand, but like instead of it being like string, it's a lot more like elastic and everything. So it's like you can get some weird like rubber band shit going on. So I was like, so there you go. That's like, you know, those would be the characters first and foremost that I would throw in for another JoJo fighting game.
Also, something I had no idea was going on about, like, from what a King Riolu was referring to. He was talking about how there was like a poll with what a show and Jump series would get the Dragon Ball FighterZ treatment, and I guess yeah, of course, like the majority of the vote went to JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and even Arc System Studios themselves were fully aware of that poll.
Yeah, I have absolutely no qualms. So please, you know, do that. Just include those characters that I meant.
Just have it play in similar fashions to Persona 4 Arena.
At the same time, it kind of makes you wonder, like, how they're going to handle that new Kill la Kill game that they're making.
Oh right, they are working on that.
Yeah, I believe they showed off quite a bunch of that game at earlier, like during Anime Expo.
No, they did, and it looked interesting from my perspective.
Yeah, it's like, as someone who saw the entirety of Kill la Kill, and I felt like it was a really awesome, action-packed anime or whatever. Now I'm curious to see how Arc System Works would handle Kill la Kill, especially when they're, if memory serves, they're having assistance with another game developer or something like that.
Yeah, Rebel. The Kill la Kill game is being worked on, and they showed a small teaser trailer for it too.
Anyway, I guess while I was, Jason Cook asked, have you guys played any other Fire Emblem games aside from Awakening? You're gonna want to talk to BJ about that one because he played the most Fire Emblem games out of all of us.
I played Fire Emblem Fates too. Does that count?
Does Fire Emblem Heroes count?
I hate all of you actually. I've actually played, not finished, but I've played majority of majority of the English of pretty much the English localized ones, like yeah, aside from Awakening and Fates, which are the obvious ones. I have also Echoes was my third one that I played, and then there was like a weekend where I kind of just went back and, like, because I felt like it, and went back and played a lot of the older ones. So I've played Shadow Dragon. That one was just okay. I played Blazing Blade. Loved that one. Started Sacred Stones. Haven't finished it yet. I need to go back and do that.
Oh, and then this man picked up 2 copies of Fire Emblem while we were in Atlanta.
Oh yeah, you're right. I totally forgot. Path of Radiance and Radiant Dawn. I started Path of Radiance 2, and then putting that down because there was a level that pissed me off. Literally, it was a level where because it's really hard to grind in that game. So like I was spending some time grinding in a level, only to tragically find out that I was timed.
Actually, wait. I got another one. Does Tokyo Mirage Sessions count?
I'd say it does, actually.
Yeah.
That game is technically part Fire Emblem.
But yeah, I kind of rage quitted Path of Radiance for a little bit, and then but I'll get back to it eventually. And then once I finish Path of Radiance, then I'll get to Radiant Dawn.
That's like sorry, I'm getting
I don't know why I'm trying to put so much detail into a lantern.
Oh yeah, Fire Emblem Warriors, that should count too.
Not really.
They say it does.
Like in terms of like the Fire Emblem formula, not really.
Okay, well, I mean it's still a Fire Emblem game.
No, it's
That's like saying Hyrule Warriors isn't a
it's
Legend of Zelda game.
it's a Dynasty Warriors game, is what it is.
Alright, you're a fucking ass.
Am I wrong though?
Anyway, as far as me with Fire Emblem, I played Awakening. I started BJ, remind me, which is the one like the first one that was localized here that came out on the Game Boy Advance, featured Roy's dad. What was that one originally called?
Blazing Sword.
Yeah, okay. I started playing I started emulating that one because I was like, God damn it, I gotta play some other Fire Emblem games, and it's like I think I got maybe like 2/3 into that one. And then I guess if it counts, I don't. Well, it technically doesn't count, but I don't give a shit. Tokyo Mirage Sessions.
Yeah, there's a handful of Fire Emblem-esque games that I've played. Only one I've ever really beaten is Awakening, so I know that doesn't really count. Or I know you said aside from that game. But just saying.
Yeah, I was like, I do want to play some other Fire Emblem games. That's why it was funny. It was like, that's why it was funny. It was like, you know, I made this comment like, you know, when these guys we were all in Atlanta for MomoCon, and I made the comment that, you know, I wanted to play Fire Emblem Fates, but I couldn't find the game anywhere. Like whenever I would go out to like, you know, Best Buys and everything, I can't find that game anywhere. And then, of course, when I say that, BJ manages to find a bunch of them. Where it's like, you know, it's like, okay, here, we're gonna go. Like, we went, like, food shopping or something, like, at a Walmart or something. It's like, oh, there's the game. It's like, Target. Oh, Target has the game. Target has the game.
Yeah, I was gonna say, we went to Target.
It's like, yeah, all these places they went to, yeah, they got the game. And I'm like, why the fuck are they showing up now? Because they were not there when I checked.
It's like we were tempted to get that for you too, but it was like, do we get Fates for you or do we get the other thing?
Nah, I'm very, very pleased with that thing.
I don't know why I put so much detail into fucking lanterns.
I'm only laughing because I'm only laughing at the fact that while we were all waiting for Danny to come home that day after we came back from Target, and while we were just standing there waiting, I just could not keep a straight face.
Oh no, Danny! You should have seen what fucking creepos we all became. Like looking out your window, waiting to see when you got back. Like, we must have looked like fucking creepos.
We were like a little pack of puppies just waiting for you to come back home. It's like, oh, I miss her so much.
Oh, God.
It's like, oh, hey guys, I'm home, but what the fuck?
What the fuck?
I fucking lost it when she said that. It's the very first thing you hear out of her mouth when she comes home, and I fucking lost it.
That was so great.
So I guess to give context, you know, for it, I know I mentioned this on Twitter, but I don't know how many of you guys actually like followed me on Twitter or anything. So yeah. So when while we were all at MomoCon and everything, you know, there were a couple of days I actually had to go to work, you know, which was fine. And I think it was like I come home from work, and I see like on like my dining room table, like BJ, Brandon, and Ryan went and bought me a Switch. Like they bought me a Switch with Super Mario Odyssey and like an extra like controller and everything. And it's like you know, like I walk to the door, and then I see here's the Switch right in front of me, and you got BJ, Brandon, and Ryan that are doing like jazz hands and everything. They're just like, ta-da! We got you this. And like my thought, the first thing that came out of my mouth was, what the fuck?
Oh, that was just fantastic.
Yeah, so it's like, so yes, Switch. Right now I only have 2 games for it. I mean, it's like, I beat Super Mario Odyssey, and then I got Splatoon 2. I do need to get some other things as well, but, oh my god, Splatoon 2 is hard to put down.
I should hope so. But yeah, it was like, yeah, Danny's long overdue for a Switch. Because it was just about that time.
Well,
Yeah.
Usually when new consoles come out, I never buy them immediately. Like, because one, I usually maybe try and wait for a price drop, and other than that, like usually a lot of games that I personally want, they come in like 2-3 years into the cycle, and it's like, okay, now is where I'm probably gonna get the console. The Switch comes out, and right out of the fucking gate, they're throwing out good stuff. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me.
Yeah, so I was like, fuck it. You're getting the Switch one way or another.
Alright, let's see,
It's like, we would have got Danny Breath of the Wild too, but she already had that on the Wii U, so it was like...
yeah, that's okay. But yeah, like, my backlog is still pretty damn big. Like, even for, like, PlayStation 4 and everything, there's still some games. Admittedly, there are some games, like, I know, like, I still have not gotten around to playing the Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy. I was gonna get that for PlayStation 4, but I might be getting that one for the Switch, just, because I've been playing the Switch a lot more often.
Understandable. So yeah, I'm honestly thinking about doing the same thing. But money's kind of tight now, so I gotta wait till the next payment.
It's like, yeah, Sergio, it's like, yeah, wasn't Danny one of those I don't care about Splatoon people during the Wii U days? Admittedly, yeah. Like, I had the first Splatoon, I didn't play it nearly as much as I'm playing Splatoon 2. That was one of those games, like 2 weeks in, it was like, well, I pretty much got what I needed out of it, and it's like, I just kind of put it down and never went back to it and everything. Even with Splatfest, I never played, like, the Splatfests or anything, like in Splatoon 1. So that's where I was like, and admittedly, I was very hesitant, Splatoon 2, but, that was actually one of the questions I had asked, like, Brandon, with MomoCon was, okay, Splatoon 2, is it worth it? Did all they do is we're just gonna report the first game and maybe add like a couple of weapons and that's it? Because if that's really all they were gonna do with it, then it's like, yeah, no, pass. But then
my immediate answer was no. Get it.
Yeah, and Brandon was telling me all the stuff that they added onto it and everything. Like, he told me about the salmon run. He told me about, like, all the ranked matches, and then, the Octo expansion was coming out, so there was a lot. He said, yeah, there's a lot more this time around compared to the first one. So that's where I was like, oh, yeah, I guess I'll take your word for it. And then it's like, sure enough, it's like, I bought Splatoon 2 like I bought it maybe like a month before the Octo expansion came out. And I pretty much try and play Splatoon 2 at least maybe twice a week. Like, I'll usually dedicate like 2 days where I'm just gonna veg and just play Splatoon 2.
I've converted her. I can't get her to put the game down.
Yeah, then comes the Splatfest and you choose fucking Inkling. What the fuck is wrong with you?
I didn't even know you were going Octoling.
I go Octoling.
Everybody's been all over the squids and the kids, whatever. But what about the octopuses, man?
I can't believe
There's 11.
I
love my Octoling.
I can't believe SpiffyNeedleGeeks is about to break up because of Splatoon.
What you mean?
Whoa, okay, BJ, let's simmer down, alright? I know I had my fair share of like Splatoon 1, but I think it was like sometime after like they did their final Splatfest. At that point, that's what killed it, because it's like, yeah, I enjoyed the Splatfest, like when they were going all out with the Splatfest at the time during the first game.
No, that's what I'm thinking. Like, what are they gonna like? The thing about it too is that it wasn't long after the Splatfest just stopped for Splatoon 1 on the Wii U that they just came out the gates with Splatoon 2, and now they're adding all this extra content and stuff like that. So the thing about that too is the thing about that also is that compared to Splatoon 1, Splatoon 2 has just been really consistent about the new modes, the new content, and all that stuff. So the thing, if Splatfests do end, I wonder if they're gonna do anything to make it, if they're gonna add more content to make it like seem like Splatfests are still there. And that is to say, if they're really gonna cut Splatfests. I personally think that they should just stick to reusing Splatfest ideas and just keep it going.
Yeah, so at the very least, I would certainly hope they wouldn't like cut Splatfest so soon, because I remember with the first game, it only lasted for like at least 1 year, and that's it. That's when they're like, okay, that's it, that's a wrap, folks. Well, see you guys later. And they never brought it back until they initially made Splatoon 2.
Well, yeah, and again, the gap between when Splatfest ended in Splatoon 1 to when Splatoon 2 was announced and released was pretty short. So.
Oh yeah, exactly. It felt way too short. It's just like, wait a minute, I feel like I just got this game, and you're cutting like one of the biggest things to ever hit Splatoon.
Well, no. That's not what Russell's saying, right? He's saying that by the time the Splatfests were over, Splatoon, that's when Splatoon 2 was announced.
Yeah, and Splatoon 2 was already getting ready to come out of the gates after the Splatfest ended for Splatoon 1. So I'm thinking something. I feel like something's going to replace Splatfest, per se. Not necessarily get rid of them if they do end up going down that route, but something's just going to end up replacing Splatfest for Splatoon 2, because again, all this extra content that they're bringing out for Splatoon 2, all these and remember, we got to remember, DLC is a big thing now, especially with the Nintendo Switch. The Octo expansion is doing so well, I could imagine them doing something else in a similar fashion to replace Splatfest in the future, if they do decide to finally cut Splatfest for Splatoon 2. I still don't think they should, but they might just end up replacing it with something else.
Possibly.
About to break up because of cephalopod children.
Yeah,
I even went out of my way to get the Splatoon 2 amiibos. I got Pearl and Marina sitting right next to me.
Yeah, I have Pearl and Marina sitting right on top of the Squid Sisters.
I got Pearl and Marina for Sophia's birthday.
Yeah, it's like, unfortunately, I can't find those Callie and I don't own the Callie and Marine amiibos, and I can't find them anywhere without going online and finding that they're super expensive.
Yeah, yeah. People are trying to sell the two amiibo on Amazon for like $90.
Yeah, this is why I got Pearl and Marina day one. You're not about to do this to me again, Nintendo.
That's exactly why I got Callie and Maria, on day one as well. Cause it's like, okay, I'll bet you anything. These two ladies, they're gonna sell out. They're never gonna bring them back, and then they're gonna sell them for like high bucks.
I am wearing Marina's headphones right now. I'm never watching these headphones again.
Wait, I'm sorry. I don't think I heard that right. What did you just say?
I said I am wearing Marina's headphones and headband right now. I'm never washing these items again.
You wash headphones?
Yeah, wait, good question. Why? Please don't tell me you put headphones underwater.
Don't question me. Don't question me.
Don't question.
Don't question me.
Well, to be fair, in Splatoon 2, when you get all the gear, abilities and everything, you can take them to the little sea urchin kid, and he will literally scrub-a-dub-dub them, and you can get basically wipe your equipment clean.
Okay, but I'm talking real life.
Yeah, that's
you don't put headphones in water.
That's so weird, cause I had a friend who washed someone else's headphones. They ended up being broken.
Don't you fucking question me.
Wait. Oh god, dude, never mind. The context would probably be like completely out of nowhere with that next joke.
I will sleep with this bandana around my neck.
Whoa. Okay, Russell, chill.
Just as long as the bandana isn't choking you or anything, then by all means, go for it.
Yo, Marina can choke me any day.
I'm telling Ellie. I'm telling. I got Ellie on speed dial. I'm telling.
Oh shit!
That was a joke, my guys. Come on.
I am telling.
It's like we're gonna see world on you.
Oh my god!
Marina, please step on me.
Meanwhile, you got rapping in the background.
Oh my god!
Oh, that's true. It's like, yeah, Dark Meta Knight. Yeah, our SpiffyNeedleGeeks, like, no dignity, no shame, no morale.
Really glad to know that we're still keeping that slogan even after the unfinished Swan playthrough. I'm so happy right now.
You know what? In that case, while we're at it, Marina can sit on my face too.
Oh, good lord.
Anyway,
Okay,
Rebel asks, where's a good place that he can go get amiibos?
GameStop, Target.
Toys R Us. Oh wait.
Oh yeah.
Too soon.
Yeah, especially considering my dad lost his job there.
Oh yeah. Sorry about that. Yeah, I heard.
Wow.
Yeah, that was the thing. Cause it's like I remember when we saw your dad as we dropped you off. He was wearing a Toys R Us shirt, and I didn't want to say anything. It was like I felt bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like because of the liquidation, Toys R Us is out of business. Everyone who had jobs at Toys R Us doesn't have jobs.
Yeah.
Is he able to find a new job at least?
Huh?
Is he able to find a new job?
No, he had another job before he went to Toys R Us anyway. He
Oh,
still
okay.
had that job.
Oh, okay.
Okay, good.
He was effectively working 2 jobs, but now he's only working 1 because Toys R Us is out of business.
Rebel specifically wants to know where can you get the Pearl and Marina one?
I ordered mine on Amazon.
I got mine at GameStop.
Yeah, I ordered mine on Amazon.
Like, I actually got 2 sets, one for myself and one for my sister Sophia for her birthday. The one that I got for Sophia, I actually got at GameStop. It was literally the last one they had, and it was only I walked in 5 minutes after the goddamn store opened too. So wow. And then I got one at Best Buy, and they were actually hoarding them. Like literally, it's like they didn't even want to put them on the shelves yet, and were only selling the people who were asking for them. So. So GameStop, I'm finding a little bit unreliable in terms of amiibo. Really, your best bet nowadays probably is Best Buy.
Okay. I didn't even pre-order mine. And okay, I guess Rebel's going to.
All right.
Okay, good luck, fam. Excuse me.
I'm looking up trying to see, like, did anybody ask any other questions, like, you know, before we went on the Splatoon tirade?
I'm sorry.
No, that's why I'm looking. That's why I'm checking. That's like, so far I'm not seeing any.
I pre-ordered 3 new Smash amiibo, says Yo-Yo Master. Oh, so you were one of the lucky ones to get the Wolf, Inkling, and Ridley amiibo.
I just want GameStop to confirm that they got Smash Bros on pre-order with the GameCube controller adapter and everything. Because the moment they do, I'm gonna pre-order for that.
Wait, they haven't confirmed that?
Well, no. I saw on the site that they did, but when I went to GameStop to pick up Octopath Traveler and the Pearl and Marina amiibos, they said that no, they don't have the Smash Ultimate bundle with the controller, with the GameCube controller and adapter available yet. So I was like, okay, I'll just.
Oh, okay. I was starting to think it was like an online-only deal or something like that.
I mean, I doubt it, but even then, I prefer to just like get it up front.
Oh, yeah, understandable. No, I strongly agree. In fact, that was actually like, yeah, this was like before I was like video game heavy and like ordering stuff on Amazon or whatever. But it's like, yeah, that's essentially how I got the Smash Brothers for Wii U or whatever. I pre-ordered that stuff in person and I got it up front.
Okay, so King Railu, he. Before I go to that one, Dragon Card, he just asked because I figured, you know, we answered a JoJo question a little bit ago, so let's do something different. Your thoughts on Hammond on Overwatch?
Who's Hammond?
Oh, the hamster.
The hamster. Yeah, the hamster.
I think he's hilarious.
Is he?
I love him.
Is he available to play now?
Well.
I know he was announced. But...
Yeah, I know he was announced.
Yeah,
I know he was in. Oh god, what was that mode? Like the testing mode in Overwatch. I forgot what it was. I know he was in testing, or like in beta.
Yeah, he's probably in the PTR right now.
That was it. Yes, thank you, PTR. Yeah, I know he was in PTR, but I don't think, as far as I'm aware, I don't think he's available to play just yet.
Okay. And then anyway, I guess quickly to go to the JoJo question. So King Railu, he was asking like Ryan, Brandon, and myself, favorite and least favorite JoJo.
Oh god.
Oh god. I really can't say I have a least favorite right now, but I only know of 3 JoJos right now because.
Yeah, but it's like, you only keep up with the anime, right?
So, yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, I think cause honestly,
I mean, I know of Jolene, but I don't know about her.
Yeah.
Right. Well, that's where it's like, you know, well, I think like out of all of us, like I'm the one that kind of kept up with, like I got, you know, fucking Ryan, my drug dealer over here, got me so hooked on the goddamn JoJo that it was like, I'm completely caught up with the manga. I've been keeping up with the new chapter releases for JoJolion, so that's where it's like, I'm quite familiar with the series. So it's like favorite JoJo, I have to say Josuke from Part 4. I absolutely adored Josuke. He was so much fun to watch. And it's like, you know, and honestly, I think like out of like all the characters where it's like, you know, you can definitely tell like as good as they are, you can definitely tell like, you know, yeah, they're still characters and stuff. Josuke I felt was like the one JoJo that actually feels like a real person, like with his attitude and everything. Like, you know, it's like I could say like I can't say I've ever met anybody that reminded me of like Jotaro. But I have met people who remind me of Josuke because they have like the similar attitude, demeanor, the kindness and everything. And it's like I think Araki kind of like, you know, hit that one out of the park. And then as far for least favorite, okay. I hesitate to say, but I might as well put it down anyway, and I only say it because it's not finished. But I'm not really gravitating to the JoJolion nearly as much as I thought I would. So it's like I love Part 4 Josuke. Part 8 Josuke hasn't really won me, but that could change because it's still ongoing. But as of right now, yeah, I probably have to say he's my least favorite right now.
Yeah, it's like the last time I heard of Josuke from JoJolion is like they try to pull off his character as like a makeshift Shadow the Hedgehog in a way, where the moment he jumps in, it's like he's going around asking, who am I? Where am I? Why am I here? You know, just asking all these questions about who he is, and it could have been just me, like, you know, like first seeing this man, you know, in All-Star Battle, where he kept asking those same questions over and over again after you win a match with him in round 1. But after a while, it just got tiresome after a while.
And I don't blame you for that, because admittedly, I mean, like, yeah, again, it's like, here's this guy, he just seemingly comes out of nowhere and he has amnesia. That's what he just wants answers. So it's like, okay, I get that and everything. It's just the thing with JoJolion, it's like, I can't say, like, again, because it's still ongoing, so I have no idea, like, where exactly in the context, like, how far along this happens, but, you know, Josuke gets his answers. We do find out what he is, where he came from, and everything, so all of his answers, all of his questions do get answers, But then it's like, okay, now that he's got the answers, what happens now? And for me, I think that's where he fails to interest me. It was like, you know, when he was looking for the answer, I was invested. But as soon as he got the answers, it just seems like he just plateaued. And I was just like, oh, really? Anyway, let's see.
Well, it's okay. Well, it's like it's like Brandon. It's like I know you say you couldn't think of like a least favorite JoJo, but who would you say is your favorite JoJo?
Oh God, that's a tough one.
I know.
I love so many things about Joseph. I love so many things about Jotaro, and I love so many things about Josuke. But those are the only three JoJos that I like know fully right now. And I'm just like, if I had to pick one, probably Josuke.
All right.
But I feel like I relate to Josuke more than any other JoJo, and that's probably why.
Well, the cast in Part 4 is very relatable.
Right.
Like that, like Part 4 had a really good cast. It had a really good cast.
Photoshop. There we go.
Wait, what?
Oh.
What'd you break?
It's like chugging there for a second.
Oh, I getcha. Ugh.
Okay, done.
Woo!
Very nice. Very, very nice. Excellent work.
Thank ya.
I know, seriously, that looks fantastic.
Copy merged. And plop.
Let's see. God, honestly, I am torn between Jotaro and Josuke, like Part 4 Josuke. Because it's like, I love how, like, it's like, okay, it's not so much because of, like, you know, he's like, oh, he's just nothing more than a mere badass in the JoJo universe. It's not so much that. Well, I do love that. It's not so much that. It's like, I love it how it's like, he doesn't come off as, like some big tough guy or whatnot. It's like, he has his smarts. He has his quirks and all that stuff. And it's because of stuff like that, you know, it's really, I feel like it's really enjoyable to watch Jotaro in action all the time. And as for Josuke, I'm torn between him as well, if only because he kind of relates to me in a way. Because Josuke is like this very nice guy on the outside, but you do something wrong and, you know, or what was it? It's like, he's the nicest guy, but when you get on his bad side, you get him on his bad side. So it's in a way, it's kind of like me in a way.
Yeah, and he's like very, very fiercely protective.
Actually, you know another thing me and Josuke have in common? We care about our hair. We care about our hair too much. Alright, so that being said, people, do not insult Brandon's hair. Lord knows what he's capable of after that. Well, no, I mean in a sense of like, if there's a position or anything where my hair could get like messed up or really dirty, it's like, nope, I'm out. Like, I actually try to take care of my hair.
Oh, I get you.
Anyway, a couple of other quick questions. Do we plan on playing Kirby Star Allies eventually?
We're supposed to, but
no, time constraints.
It wasn't even that.
Is Mario Tennis Aces worth the buy? I haven't gotten it myself. I know Russell has. What do you say, Russell?
I'd say so. It really depends on if you don't care about. It really depends on if you care about how they're releasing the content right now.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, there's a story. The online is fun as hell. The way they're doing the characters, though, is like if you participate in the monthly tournaments, online tournaments, then during that month that you participate, and for the next month, you'll receive a character, or a new character to play as. Like this month was Koopa Troopa was the character for this month, and I think next month is either Birdo or Diddy Kong.
Okay. Then the Yo-Yo asks, BJ, is that you in the mine cart? It's actually myself, Danny, and Ryan. Like I'm the one wearing like whenever you see these thumbnails, you'll always be able to determine who each of us are by the color. Ryan will always be in red, Danny will always be in yellow, I'll always be in green, and Russell, for the thumbnails that he'll be in, he'll always be in black and blue.
Plus BJ still insists on putting a Shadow Link hat on me.
Well, because
everybody, long before SpiffyNeedleGeeks, when I was active in the commentary community, everybody recognized me for the Shadow Link avatar.
Right.
I honestly didn't even realize that's what you were going for there. I knew that's exactly what you were awesome.
It's like, so 9 times out of 10, I'm that.
Yeah.
Just as a callback to that. It's like, plus, Four Swords manga Shadow Link is fucking amazing.
Though there was one time where there will be some occasions where you won't be able to define us by a color, like for the Cuphead thumbnail that I made that I haven't posted yet. Like, so really here you'll only be able to tell us by the hairstyles.
Yeah, and then it's like, I think like for like the Miitopia, it's based on like our actual Miis.
Yeah, and like for a certain part that's actually going to be uploaded very soon. It's like, if anyone's wondering why I haven't been uploading Miitopia parts in a while, I held off on uploading because I did something in the I did something as part of the Let's Play that was going to spoil, that unintentionally spoiled another Let's Play that's going to be happening soon. So I held off on uploading more parts just to avoid spoilers.
I mean, I held
off on uploading more parts, and I actually held off on doing more recording.
Which that does remind me, Danny. When are you going to get around to being able to start uploading that said Let's Play?
I've started working on the first part, so I mean, it's like I've already started editing them. Like I've started editing them. I've started doing like a little bit more recording for that group Let's Play. So. It is coming.
All right, so then do you guys want to give us a small sneak peek to it? Because I do have its thumbnail.
Sure, why not?
Wait, you already made the thumbnail for the next, or for Danny's next LP?
Yep.
Yep.
And it's right here. Here you guys go.
Cuphead.
Small sneak peek.
That's... Oh, never mind. I didn't see it yet. Oh, that one. Okay, never mind. I thought we were talking about the other one.
There's the Miitopia one.
Well, there you go. That's why Miitopia hasn't been uploaded for a while, and why I haven't been able to make new episodes.
Yeah.
And I guess now, whenever I get to uploading those parts of Miitopia, you guys will understand exactly why I didn't upload them for a while.
Yeah, we mentioned about this numerous times in previous Let's Plays, but we finally got around to doing it.
It's like, yeah, remember those spoilers I was talking about from Utopia? Yeah.
Yeah.
This is why.
God damn, that was still way more stressful than it should have been. I'm sorry.
Hey, you know what? Well, I won't say anything. I really shouldn't. Like, we can gush about old memories. Old memories. It was like a month ago, but
Recent.
I'm trying to think of Jace. Okay, I'm trying to think of BJ. Do you have any more thumbnails that you want to the audience?
Sorry?
Do you have any more thumbnails that you want to show up to the audience?
I mean, I also have the Uncharted one that I still have to post as well. Where's that one? There it is. Actually, no, I do have one more thumbnail for a game that for a game that we haven't posted yet, which Ryan's in charge of. If Ryan doesn't mind me showing that.
Oh, no, I don't mind. Go for it.
Boop. That'll give you a little hint to what that is.
I don't know. It's like I don't know. I get the feeling that it's like something tells me it's gonna be one of the more obscure ones compared to the others.
Okay.
Like in regards to the game in general, I mean, not so much the thumbnail, because the thumbnail looks, of course, the thumbnail looks fantastic as always.
You were scared it was something else. What were you scared it was going to be? Rebel.
What did you think it was?
But yeah, I think that probably will do it for the stream though, folks. Like I ended up spending way more time on that Donkey Kong Country thumbnail that I intended to. But oh, Shantae.
Oh,
Yeah.
Who would wear the outfit?
It's like, hold on. Oh, for that matter, you're still going on about that. You're still going on about. I remember this man saying, "Okay, whatever you do, do not play a Shantae game on the channel." That was like all the way back in the DuckTales Remastered playthrough.
Okay,
You're still
okay.
going on about that?
Oh, okay. You know what? It's gonna happen. But BJ has to be the one in the outfit.
No, that's no. Actually, I already thought about. I already thought about it, Russell. We're all gonna be in an outfit.
Hell yeah!
Okay, fine.
And yours will be the sexiest.
It's like
Why mine?
It's like if it's like no, because we're all gonna be exploited. Not just one person. We're all in it.
I mean, someone's gotta go as Risky Boots.
No.
No?
Okay. If we're dressing up as the characters, but like generally, I prefer more the idea of what I'm doing for a lot of these, where it's like we're more just background characters with the main characters showing up in the foreground, like I show here.
Okay, fair enough.
I think the only thumbnail that I've made so far where it does show one of us dressed up is this one. Where Ryan is Frisk and then all of us are Flowey. So that's really the only one. Aside from that, Miitopia, but our characters are all actually characters for that, so that will make sense.
Yeah, you're right.
But otherwise, generally, I much prefer the idea of the main character of the game, getting the foreground like they deserve, and then us just being in the background, because we are providing background commentary as it is.
You're right.
So I'm trying to think of BJ as far as like, because I know this week I posted the finale for Prince of Fate. Do you have any ideas about what you're gonna do for the thumbnail for my next game?
Okay, this is the game I was thinking of.
I have a couple of ideas. Like I said, I it's like, god damn it, I may need to like slightly spoil myself a little bit into what we can do for it. What I can do for it. Like I know what's his face is going to be obviously going to be in the main line, but I'm thinking like as to what goes on behind it. Like we have to make some we have to make some kind of joke with the joke we already established for that Let's Play.
I know. It's like I figured as much.
Maybe all of us could just have tiny wings. I don't know.
Oh no! I'm still triggered about that.
No. Wait, no. You know what? I know exactly what we'll do. You three will have wings. I'll just have a bucket of chicken wings.
God damn.
Wait. Are you? Oh my god.
Cause fuck flying. Just give me my chicken wings. Fuck flying.
It's like, I can try and hunt down maybe like a rare pick of the wings if you'd like.
Well, I was actually thinking like little tiny doofy wings.
Oh, I was just wondering if you wanted to be like technically accurate to the game.
No. Oh, like I'm thinking like the kind of wings you see on Yoshi.
Okay.
I don't know. Like I still kind of have to brainstorm that one a little bit. Like it is kind of difficult. Like since we just started the game, this is why we need to create a backlog. Like start recording games more ahead of time.
Yeah, that's what I honestly want to do, and like I hope.
We were doing that for a while, but then like all of us got busy with things, and next thing we know, we all got caught up.
Honestly, that's the biggest thing that I've been doing, like, for these past, like, several months, like, ever since I posted the initial update, like, after the Cuphead Let's Play. It's like, once I finally got better from, being sleep-deprived and physically drained for God knows how long, and dealing with all the crap with that guy sideswiping my car and all that jazz, like, once I started to feel a lot better from that, that's what I've been focusing on, like getting all the RAWs together for my next playthrough, making sure all the RAWs were edited ahead of time, and as we speak, I have been trying to make a lot of progress with extra content with a second playthrough I have afterwards. So I'd try my damnedest to prepare myself before I jump into the next playthrough.
Yeah,
Right.
Because kind of like how it was, like, you know, like ever since day one, I love maintaining like a consistent upload schedule, like how I did in the past, and I want to keep that for as long as I can.
Yeah, and I've said, or I know some people are probably aware of this already. Like, I know some people in chat are, at least, but the reason I've kind of been slow on uploads is because I'm trying to maintain uploading on SNG as well as my live streams on Twitch at the same time. So my uploads are obviously going to be a bit slower than everyone else's, but I still try.
All right.
But I am incredibly active on Twitch if anyone wants to see what I'm up to most of the time.
Yeah, and it's like, and I know I've been busy myself, like, you know, because like not only am I trying to make sure I'm getting a steady content of like game stuff, you know, I also took on this whole project of, you know, hey Ryan, you know, how about you and me? How about I show you the JoJo Part 5 manga since you haven't read the manga or anything? Yeah, how about we?
Sure.
Yeah, and that became a beast in and of itself. So it's like, don't get me wrong, I love working on it, and yeah, I still gotta finish that, Ryan. You know, we're technically almost done with it. That's like, you still have like 2 more volumes I gotta get you through. But it's like, you know, but I mean, I did say that like part 5 has 17 volumes in total, and I did promise myself that once I fully edited the first 10 volumes, that's when I'm going to start uploading it onto this channel. And right now, I'm like 3 chapters away from being done with volume 5. So I'm almost halfway to my goal. So hopefully soon, like I'm hoping, if anything, by the end of this year is when you guys will finally see this massive fucking JoJo project. Like I did a sneak peek of it before when I did the video about the Part 5 announcement, you know, so it's like, if you haven't seen it and if you're at all curious, you can check that out. Just be mindful of the cringe. But, you know, but other than that, it's like, you know, that is a really big project that I've kind of taken on, as well as trying to, you know, stay on top of game content. So I mean, it's like we've all got shit that we're working on. But
yeah.
we do got to try and be better about getting a lot more shit recorded ahead of time.
Yeah.
Hold on, I just realized I forgot a detail on the DK picture. We're in a minecart.
Yeah, I'm not completely depriving everybody of content. At least I'm trying not to. So, I mean, again, like I've been a bit better about like saying, or at least been a bit more comfortable with saying, hey, you guys want to like see what's going on with me when I'm not uploading on the channel. Like I'm on Twitch and everything. So it's like I managed to kind of jokingly sneak that in there when Ryan made a comment during the first part of Utopia saying that.
Yeah, I saw that. It's like, oh god damn, me and my big mouth.
Yeah, you kind of set me up for that one.
Damn it.
And yes,
Clever
Rebel.
girl.
Yes, Rebel. I am well aware cringe is not a noun, but fuck it, I will make it one.
And I will add it to Webster's dictionary.
Like, Webster's will be my bitch.
Whoa.
Oh, well.
That sounds like my kind of dictionary. I'm buying that.
Anyway, real quickly, a couple more questions before we go ahead and sign off. I know Rebel asked about Smash Adventures a little earlier. Yes, I am still working on it, but I did kind of go back to being super slow on it like before, unfortunately, just because it's like, you know, the usual shtick. I'm in the middle of job hunting, and I have SG to also worry about, so it's like it sucked where that went. But I'm not giving up on it. I am definitely gonna still keep working on it. And then I know Yo-Yo Master also asked me if I'm excited to play as Ada and Kirby. Oh, Adeline. He meant Adeline and Kirby. Yes, I am. I dream about being able to play with my daughter.
Context?
Adeline is my daughter, as is Ribbon. I love them very much.
No, never mind. I said nothing.
All right. Well, I guess with that said, I think that'll pretty much do it for today's for our first Spiffy hangout of me doing a thumbnail drawing. I probably will.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was gonna say, like, you think you think we should probably do more of these drawing thumbnail streams, like, every now and again?
I wouldn't mind that. I would not.
Honestly, I kind of want to try my hands at streaming on this channel eventually, and by eventually I mean very soon.
I mean, won't that harm your Twitch partnership?
No. As long as I don't advertise my Twitch.
Okay. All right.
All right.
Alrighty then. So with that all said, we are the SpiffyNeedleGeeks. Thank you all for watching, and we will see you all next time.
All right. Good night, everybody. Have a good one.
Good night.